a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right, it's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it, okay? And I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here, okay? You put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey, okay? Your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin powder, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
And we are back. And we are back. We are back in the bit. And we back. And this bitch. And we back. And what's up? Okay, listen. So, hey everybody. Oh my God, we're back. I'm excited to be back. Okay, if you are not a member, if you are not a Patreon, if you are not a member, a Royal Blue member, or a Baby Blue member of BondyBlueShow.com, then you missed the live we did like 30 minutes ago. We was on for an hour and a half watching Love and Marriage Huntsville together, girl, because last night I went out with the homegirls. Y'all, I gotta stop. Y'all, sometimes I be feeling like, bitch, sometimes you do not need to have friends, because you just, something wrong with you. Anyway, y'all, this is my problem, y'all. You know how people don't be knowing what their issues are? I talk too much. Okay, I talk too much. That's my issue. It's a gift and a curse. So sometimes, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a good time last night, but I got home and I was tired. So I put Love and Marriage Huntsville on, but didn't make no notes. And then I went to sleep with Love and Marriage DC on. So I woke up and had to rewatch that shit. But listen, I got that same side. You got the same side from Skin Side? Really? Hold up. Let me make sure I'm cute because my shirts are short. But like, you got this same side, girl. You got this same side? Okay, listen. Okay, we're here for it. I'm letting everybody come into the room. Other things besides this blue nail polish and me taking off my acrylics. Okay, so like, y'all, sometimes when you wear acrylics, they start to pull on your nail bed. So like when you do certain things, you could feel the nail pulling your own nail away from your skin. Yeah, I don't like that feeling. So it was time to go back to my real nails. And I had to cut them down because they was longer than this. But child, I can't deal with long nails, because as soon as they bend, I'm like, ugh. So short nails, it had to be, girl. I was typing so quickly this morning. It was amazing. Also, as Nisi said, I went ahead and got the white nail polish on my toes. Y'all know they say that's the thought, the thought nail polish. I never got white nail polish on my feet or my fingernails. It's not something I would do. So I'm trying. I'm I don't know how I feel about it yet. But that's what's going on in my life. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's 130 of y'all in here. Do me a favor, like the video as you come in. Okay, we're about to get into put a ring on it first. Girl, put a ring on it is a motherfucking mess. Okay, and it's a motherfucking mess because you got people on there that actually have mental issues. And you know how in the Black community, we are plagued with mental disease and issues that we don't actually receive help for. I think that's what we're seeing with Kenneth. I think that's what Kenneth is giving. It's giving Lifetime movie. It's giving if I were on a medication, we wouldn't be going through this. You know, it's giving if I would go and talk to someone a few times a week, this would not be my story. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's giving. I'm going to oh, Mel did a live 4 hours. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to check that out, and I'll probably come back to y'all at a later date. Because I don't want to. I don't. It's 17 minutes long. I don't know if I have time to watch that on this live, with y'all. So yeah, no. But wait, I need to find. Here it is. Okay, y'all. Something is amiss, and people don't know that this shit is not cute or normal. So let me be the one to let you know. So this is Kenneth from Put a Ring on It, right? This is him and Shorty in the bed. Shorty doesn't want to be seen. He's still recording her. Okay, hold up. He's still recording her. Let's see. Can we go to the page? Okay, so he only has a few little short videos up. Most of them are centered around her and him putting the camera on her when she doesn't want to be recorded. That's what most of these are. And yeah, in a lot of them she laughs it off and she's fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but ultimately, listen, on this one, y'all. Hold up.
She be killing me. You see the score up there. She paid number 2, but look. 87-43. That's an annihilation. Doing it in a dress, in a sweater. How you get your ass whooped by a woman with a dress and a sweater on? You need your ass whooped.
Because if I take the sweater off, you don't want me to put it back on.
That's what it is.
Okay, so the reason why I brought that one up is because I feel like, so you covering yourself up because of how he gonna act? Is it just me? Is it just me? Like, there's another one that I saw where she's like, stop. You know what I mean? Like, why are you recording? Like, in almost all of the videos, she's saying that. And then under the comments on one of them, she was saying how, it's a testament to how obsessed with her he was. And he was. Like, and there's nothing, like, I think people will view child not Kenneth paying bills.
What animal is that? Father, what animal is that?
Y'all, why is he doing this?
It's like a porcupine balled up over here.
Are you done yet?
She lives. We be having fun, y'all. Man, y'all, I'm about to pay some bills. You know what I'm talking about? My baby said I don't pay no bills.
He don't ever pay bills, y'all. Never. I'm sick of it.
Well,
Okay. So yeah, these videos are old. So it proves the point even more so. Like, I think he thought that this made him look good.
Pay some bills. I got $1.
They better be hundreds.
$2.
Y'all, what the fuck? Is he throwing money on her? Y'all, what the fuck?
See, I go 50-50 on it. I don't know how much that is. She don't tell me, so we just gonna work it out.
You get on my nerves.
Is that not enough? All right, you can give me back. That was just for play. I wasn't giving that to you.
Oh, that was a play. I wasn't really giving you that. Give it back. Y'all think this shit be funny. This shit is telling.
I wasn't giving that to like before. This is all for camera purposes. What's your name? Don't give a fuck about Mr. Rimicle. What animal is that under the cover, Pops? Gee, Pops, I don't know. What's the spot we about to go to, love?
No, don't even. Do not.
What?
Stop with the documentary shit, man.
Man, if you don't cut that out, let me get all that. Thank
We
me
ain't going
later.
nowhere. We ain't nowhere. We're in fucking Columbus, Georgia, man.
So what that mean? You still gotta have a good time.
I love Columbus. Matter of fact, I'm a C-Town representative.
I don't know how old the videos are. I know he posted them recently. They're all within like the last couple of months. May 2022, May 3rd, 2022 is when this one was posted. So all of these videos were posted recently, but they're obviously old. But it's still the point. This is a depiction of what we're talking about as it pertains to what we see with their relationship, which is him giving a very obsessive type of attitude. Like he's obsessing over her. He's very obsessive. Like, and you can look it up, but he fits the criteria. I'm going to pull out the criteria in a minute, but let's continue.
I'm about to tell you right now. You gotta look at it. Y'all see her world? She crazy. Ask her who she love the most right quick. Who you love the most, Shorty Mac?
You.
What's my name?
Kenneth James.
You the most. You don't like my angles and shit though, cause all this.
No, I'm not gonna.
See, the thing is, it's just I can edit this with no sound and shit. I mean, with sound, other sound later on, and just.
I just know. I'm just gonna start calling you Chris.
Okay, so y'all see what's going on here, right? Okay, so I don't need to continue on because there are other ones, and they're not all that long, and she doesn't often show discomfort, but you see it enough for you to get the picture, right? Okay, so this is from yourtango.com, but you can basically find this anywhere. You could Google how to tell that a man is obsessed with you. If you want to avoid falling for an obsessive, dangerous guy, here are 12 signs he's obsessed with you. Number 1, he knows things about you that you never told him. Does he know where you were with your friends despite you never telling him? It doesn't take a relationship expert to tell you that that's the foundation of an obsessive relationship rather than a healthy one. If he's regularly stalking your social media or reading your emails without your knowledge, it's an obsession. Normal people do not need to know every detail of your life. Number 2, he tries to intimidate other guys to keep them away from you. Sometimes guys are overt about this. Other times, the only reason you'll know is that the guys he tried to scare off will approach you in private or suddenly bail. If he's doing this, you need to stay away from him. It's clear he's looking to control you, and that is never an indicator of love. If you're unsure of what to do, don't consult your friends, girl, because they might tell you to stay because that's what her friends told her to do. Number 3, you've caught him lingering around places you go without any reason other than to see you. Number 4, he doesn't seem capable of taking no for an answer. Number 5, he tries to make it impossible for you to leave him. If that doesn't sound like that nigga Kenneth, people you know regularly call him your stalker. He seems to know you, but you don't really know him, i.e. he lied about what he had. Okay. Number 8, he showers you with attention, even when you ask him not to. Number 9, you get the feeling that he's in love with the idea of you rather than the real you. Number 10, you feel like he's suffocating you. Number 11, he's irrationally jealous. Number 12, he's actually quite delusional. Most of the stuff he tells you he's thinking doesn't seem to make sense. And if it does, it's only in a warped, weird way. This is a sign he's delusional and obsessive about you rather than actually in love with you. Okay? All right. So just in case anybody needed to, pinpoint a few of those things that they might have found in their own relationships, check in. Just checking in. But before we, got into my notes, I wanted, because I saw that over the week, I have been seeing those videos and seeing, things that just kind of made me feel like, no, this is definitely this is definitely a situation that ain't safe. It ain't safe. Thank you so much, Rashida. That's why I roll my eyes who people be like, go to the cops or get a PPO restraining order. I'm like, what's that gonna do but push him over the edge to possibly, you know what I'm saying? Does it sound like Martell too? Doesn't it though? It sounds like a lot of these men, if you think about it. I mean, the way we're gonna get into Otis, but to me, like the way Otis is incapable of feeling true emotion, that shit is weird. Like, you shouldn't try to be in a relationship with a man that doesn't have the capacity to understand real emotions. Lyric left the projector on behind me. Hold up, y'all. Not number 13. He's Kenneth from Put a Ring on It. That's too silly. Okay. So y'all, let's get into it. Charlie isn't going on another date with the, Odell Beckham lookalike because he's trying to take her from her man. Because he said to her, what's it going to take for you to leave your dude? What's it going to take? And it's so funny to me that they're acting like this means he is trying to take her away from him when you're on a show called Put a Ring on It, which basically puts you on dates with other people because you're at an impasse in your relationship where you could either leave them or marry them. So if he's asking you, what's it going to take for you to leave your dude? You're already in a place where shit isn't good. So it obviously wouldn't take much because y'all already in a place where it's either or. See what I'm saying? So I think it's easy to take this conversation and make it seem like this man is saying for sure that he's going to, make an attempt and an effort to take her from him like she's a fucking possession or something. Like she's something that can be stolen in the middle of the night. I only got he wants to smash vibes. Me too. Like, I'm like, he is not trying to take her from you in a way of I'm about to take your woman and she's gonna become my wife type thing. No, it's more so of I'm attractive, she's attractive, she like me, I like her, I won't her. So I'm trying to find out what it's gonna take for me to her. And if it takes her not being with you, what it's gonna take for her to not be with you. But the way he tried to basically make it seem as if Odell Beckham, Junior, the fake one. Y'all know what I mean. I'm calling him Odell. I don't remember his name. He looks like Odell, whatever. Otis says to her that Odell probably thought that he could take you from me because you're weak, like viewed you as weak. First of all, the language of that. Second of all, it's a very misogynistic and weird way to think about the situation. Like, first of all, the man could feel like your woman is attractive and he wants to try to compete with you for your woman since you don't want to marry her, which means she is still on the open market. Like, that's the thing y'all don't understand. When you're not married, your woman can, or your man can still be stolen. Like, I mean, in essence, they can get stolen anyway. You know what I'm saying? But the idea of you're not married, so if I put in effort, I could probably take her from you because you don't seem to want to marry her because that's what she's asking you for, and you don't want to do that. So obviously, I can do something to get her if you don't want to fully move on, in the way that you should, I guess. Not to say that everybody should be trying to get married, but obviously that's what they want if they're on Put a Ring on It. You know what I'm saying? So, Otis' idea that, that must mean you're a hoe, because that's what weak means. Men find a lot of ways these days to call a woman a hoe without really calling her one. The same thing with Precious, calling her a party girl. And now Charlie, is being referred to as weak, meaning easy. It was an insult. And if you don't realize that it's an insult, I need for you to understand that in no point in any of this is Otis believing that Charlie's emotions are real. And it's because his own emotions aren't real. I clocked that this episode. This episode, I realized that he is never genuine. And I think he's some type of like sociopath. I think there's some like real detachment from emotion. And I think any emotion he shows is emotion that he is perpetrating. Like, it's not real. It's how he thinks he's supposed to react. A lot of people who don't feel the emotions notice the way other people look and respond when they feel the emotions. So what he's learned to do is to basically mirror what he's seen as emotion and affection. But it's not what he really feels, if you ask me. He could have sex and all of that shit. I'm not saying that. But ultimately, he does not have real feelings. He's not in touch with those real feelings. So he can't understand that when Charlie is saying, I need this or I need that, that it's coming from a real place. He thinks she's saying it just to cause issue because she wants to argue, because she's childish. That's how he views it. So when she's explaining, I need for us to have quality time together, which means if we're together, we're not on the phone. Y'all, I'm 33 years old. If there's anything I have learned, is that quality time is not y'all just being in a house together. It's not. Quality time is we're going somewhere, we're engaging with each other, we're talking to each other, we're giving each other's undivided attention, which means these are somewhere else. These are over here somewhere. So when she's telling him that that's an issue for her, and instead of listening and saying, okay, I'll work on that, I need this from you, he's not doing that. He's listening to what she's saying and then saying, okay, well, since you said that I'm always on my phone, well, I have a problem with the fact that you are on your phone at night when we in the bed. That wasn't a problem for you until she expressed what her issue was. So it's not coming from a real genuine place. And he even said, and we're going to get to it, but he was like, okay, I realize now that I need to just believe what she says, regardless to whether I believe it or not. Why would you not believe what she's saying about how she feels? Like, how could you? She's a woman in a relationship, and you're going to think that every time she voices a grievance with you, it's not coming from a real place, meaning she's not really feeling that way. She just wants something to complain about, right? So am I not a real person with real feelings and all of that? Like, what type of person doesn't have real emotions, real feelings in a relationship, and all of those feelings and emotions come from some fake place? He's a fucking sociopath. And I think that's why he can't care about her feelings, because he in his mind feels like, well, I don't feel those feelings, so she can't really be feeling those feelings. She got to be doing what I'm doing when she's talking about what she wants, which is basically trying to antagonize or make me look bad, because that's what I'm trying to do when I do it to her. I'm trying to make her look bad. She's telling me what I'm not doing, so I'm going to tell her what she's not doing. Not even grasping the fact that this lady is in this relationship in pain. Men do this all the time. I don't know what's wrong with them, but women will say, I have an issue, and they'll be sitting up there arguing with you about what your issue is. Nigga, are you going to like respond in a way to fix the issue, or are you just going to keep trying to like break down why I feel that way? You know what I'm saying? And when I say break down, I mean disparage or prove that however I'm feeling isn't true, instead of understanding that that's just how I'm feeling. And if you care about my feelings, you need to do something to fix how I'm feeling instead of arguing with me about the feeling. And Otis is arguing with Charlie at every turn. And I think it's because he doesn't really understand her feelings, because he doesn't really have any himself. So Charlie, as much as he looks good and probably fucks good and presents himself in a way that matches what you see for yourself, he's not really there. He's not really there, Charlie. And honestly, I feel like you yourself in some part have a coldness and a I'm not there-ness to yourself. And I don't know if that's a byproduct of being in the relationship with him, or if that's also a part of who you are. I'm not sure, but I see it. Thank you, Courtney, for the super chat. The only emotion Otis shows is irritation and anger. He tries to hide it, but it comes out at times, especially when he's being condescending and rolling his eyes and saying, okay. And then you go to a doctor and you don't even trust that the doctor is telling you the truth. Like even when Dr. Nicole is telling him shit, okay, sure. I don't think that's what it is, but all right. You have no connection to your emotions. How the fuck do you know? Like, what are you talking about? You don't have any emotional intelligence, Otis. How the fuck would you know? You don't even know how to decipher your own emotions. You don't even know what your emotions are. You don't know how you're feeling until a woman tells you how she's feeling. And then now you want to figure out how you're feeling. All of his shit is almost like to me, Otis's only issue in this relationship is Charlie won't do what I tell her to do. To me. Yes, we see Charlie is childish, but I also feel like when you handle someone in a, like, I feel like a woman can have, immaturity about her, right? And then you get in a relationship with somebody that exploits your immaturity and they bring out your childlike pettiness more than you would if you were with somebody that was not manipulating you constantly in the relationship all the time. But because they are constantly showing you like different sides of themselves, you don't know what to believe. I imagine Charlie believes that she sees a side of Otis that nobody else sees, which is why she's still with him. But what she doesn't understand is that's not a good thing. If the person that your man is not clear to the world, if other people can't tell that your dude is a good guy, that means he's not a good guy. And he's only showing you the part that he wants you to see because he wants to be able to keep you where you are. Okay? Like it's a manipulation. It's not a real, genuine situation if he's only a good guy in private. Like it is what it is. So Fonzo says nobody is trying to be a friend, meaning that everybody that they go on these dates with is trying to get with the person. So the idea that Charlie doesn't want to go on another date because she wants to go on dates with people that only want to be friends. It's like, girl, I don't even know why you're a part of this process, because that's not going to happen, basically. And Shay gonna feel away because it's like, oh, so you're admitting that you can't be friends with a woman. It's like, girl, duh. Like, I don't know why you sitting up here acting like Fonzo lies. Like, Fonzo lies, but doesn't. He lies by omission. But we have heard him say, yeah, I will have, my situations when I'm out of town and all of that type of shit, which is him trying to lightly say, I do what I want to do, whatever I do what I want to do, but ultimately Shay is my main girl. That's the one that I claim. And yeah, I might still fuck with my baby mom, which is why I don't want to really add her to the situation, because sometimes my baby mom can get aggy. So if I go over there and fuck her, she'll act right. And if I bring Shay into that situation, then I'm gonna have to stop fucking her. Baby mama's gonna get even more upset, and that's gonna blow up the situation even more. I really do feel like he's giving baby mama coddle dick, and he still wants to have control over her, I'm sure. But it also comes from a place of feeling like sex with her is going to appease her in their dynamic. And he wants to continue that situation. And that situation can't continue if Shay is really implemented into the family. This is not Shay's fault. I want everybody to be clear, because when the little girlfriend, the little new girl came on there, and I'm calling her a little girl because her attitude was very immature, very childlike, very 20-something-year-old Ariane, I'll take your man type of situation. And listen, y'all, I feel like every woman should feel like, I'm so bad, these niggas running after me. Like, of course, you should have that confidence about yourself as a woman, but at the same time, to feel like, these men don't come after me. I don't go after these girls, men. Girl, stop. Girl, fucking stop. Them niggas is dogs, and you taking advantage of the fact that they see you as prey. And so you flip it on them and use them to your advantage. But the idea that you pulling some man because you're so pretty, girl, that's such a immature. It's such an immature way to think about shit. Okay. But either way, Fonzo always tells us what it is. We all know that Fonzo is going to do what he wants to do, and is basically telling Shay, girl, you know what it is. Either deal with it or don't. You know what I'm saying? This whole idea, like, they're trying to act like Fonzo now understands he might lose Shay. So now he's going to start making the moves to, get this situation together. And I think he might have done something, but because the mom or the baby mama aren't being receptive to what he's saying, she's now changing her tune to, I have to be understanding to, it's other people involved in this, and it's not all predicated on how he feels. But I also feel like a part of him is still only doing the bare minimum so that he can now lull not only Shay, but Dr. Nicole. So if Dr. Nicole is telling you that you need to make a clean break from your baby mom and kind of set up more boundaries in that space, he was going to take some steps towards it, but I don't feel like he was actually going to nut up and implement it the way it needed to be implemented, because he feels like it would do more harm than good. When the truth of the matter is, if your baby mama going to act however she going to act however she going to act. You can't live your life based off of her deciding to act a fool. So you know what you need to go do? And this is what niggas don't be wanting to do, because they feel like they gonna get hemmed up in court. You really just need to go put the lady on child support. Like, you need to just go get the child support situation done yourself. You need to go and put your fucking self on child support. That way, when you tell her that you don't want to fuck with her in that matter, and you're bringing this other woman into the situation, if she tries to do anything as far as using those kids against you, or then going to put you on child support after, you can kind of save yourself from her trying to hem you up once you show her that you don't really want to be with her anymore, because she might be vindictive and try to use the kids and child support against you, which is why you should be preemptive and handle that shit ahead of time. But y'all niggas be trying to get away with it on all accounts. You don't want to get put on child support by the state. Now, I don't want them in my business, all that bullshit. You don't want to pay all of the money you think they're gonna make you pay. Okay. And it's easier to keep fucking on the baby mom. That way you can keep fucking on her, keep control of her, keep her in your back pocket, keep other men from really setting up shop with your children. Like, all the ways around, he's going to think that keeping Shay in her space and keeping the other side where it is in his best interest. Girl. Isn't Fonzo childlike too? He has 3 kids. He has 3 kids, y'all. He has the oldest and he has those 2 youngest ones that are with the last baby mom. And I think those kids might be younger. Thank you, DeQuasia, for the super chat, boo. I want to know who are the experts on this show that is responsible for the dates, because most of the dates of the men have been thirsty as hell for no reason. It's not for no reason. It's not for no reason, especially with Fonzo. And then honestly with Kenneth as well. I feel like the women are thirsty because these men, here's the thing. Women who are single kind of put themselves in a thirsty space when it comes to men. They feel like the only good men out there usually belong to another woman. They are in a situation where they are honestly going on dates with other women's men. And so in their minds, he must be a catch because he's already someone else's woman. I mean, somebody else's man, and they're trying to get him to marry them. So he must be a catch. So if I can try to shake these titties and smile and pop this pussy and get this good man from this girl because these niggas ain't out here like that, then I'm going to do that. That's the mentality that these women have. And yes, they pick those women on purpose, okay? Because they want to put as much temptation in front of these men as possible. And with the women, I feel like they want to put as much temptation in front of them as possible. Because if a person really wants to be in a monogamous relationship with you, it don't matter what type of woman or man is in front of them, they're not going to be moved. Like they could feel like they're attractive and everything and still not fuck with them. You know what I mean? If that's what they want to do. And if that's what you want from them, then you need to be sure they're doing it because they want to do it and not because you gonna act a fool or because you gonna hold the children against them or because, you know what I'm saying? Like, and don't he have like one child with Shay? So yeah, like there's a level of, does he have a baby with Shay, y'all? Because I feel like they kind of snuck that out. And I'm not sure if, because he was like, you know, I want to try to keep it together because there's a kid involved. And I feel like he was talking about him and Shay. I think Shay has a little boy for him, if I'm sure. I'm not sure, y'all. But I feel like, you know, they need to talk more about the fact that they got a kid together because I feel like they're leaving that out. And that's a huge part. No, Shay don't have any kids. Okay. Why was I thinking that she had a kid for him? I don't know. She wants kids. Okay, but she doesn't have a kid for him. Okay, that make more sense. Because if she had a kid for him, then I think it would make it harder for them to keep her on the outside. But Shay don't, okay, thank y'all. Shay don't have any kids. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I don't know why I was feeling like she might have had a kid for him. I think it was something that he said that made me think he was talking about her, but he might have been talking about the other lady. Okay. Fonzo is going on his date, and Shay has decided to allow him to go out without her having an attitude. Tanisha is the girl coming to get Fonzo, and she let us know that if she likes him, she will go after him. And Shay brings her in and tells her the rules: no touching, no changing numbers or texting, no DMs. And Shay calls. Fonzo has to answer the phone. Y'all, they are giving me like little bars, and I don't know why. Y'all let me know how y'all are hearing me and seeing me. I really need to start recording myself on OBS or something so that I don't have to deal with these issues. I can post a clear version of this on the website because I feel like all these types of issues be happening that I can't see because it doesn't show up on my end. Shay did too much in this scene. Shay doesn't understand that she's defeating the purpose. I don't understand what's wrong with her. Like Dr. Nicole has explained to you several times that the reason why you're not supposed to put all these parameters up is because you want the person to act how they're going to act without any prompting from you, so you can see what their real response will be, because you cannot always be with someone. So if they're going to, try to fuck on this person, if they're going to do anything outside of what you would want them to do, then you should understand they're going to do that anyway, because you can't control them no matter how hard you try. Okay. So the fact that she still brought the girl in, but because she wasn't aggressive with her, she was passive aggressive with her, she feels like she did something, talking about, I've grown so much. And, girl, no, you have not. This is not growth. You putting these rules, the rules you don't understand is defeating the fucking purpose. She doesn't understand it. Word on the street is that Charlie had a baby and Alfonso wished her a happy Mother's Day. Oh, all right. Okay, it might have been her that I heard about that had a kid. I don't know, girl. Child, I be all over the place. Information just be coming in and going out. So Fonzo and Tanisha go and make sushi. And she likes that he's tall, dark, and bald. She's a Scorpio, so she has whole energy. No disrespect to the Scorpios. We all appreciate the whole energy that y'all have. Okay, she has a daughter. Then she asked if he is going to feed her. She was doing too much off rip. You don't even know this man like that, and you want him to put his fingers near your mouth. You're nasty. She says it's good you have respect, because he says no, he doesn't want to do that. She was like, okay, it's good that you have respect. And he says, no, I just want to live. And I'm like, see, that's the problem. He doesn't do it out of respect for Shay. Shay, listen, that's the issue. He doesn't do it out of respect for you. He does it because he doesn't want your response. And you think that that means that you big and bad in the situation. But ultimately, no, like he should not want to hurt you. Like he should not want to have to, deal with your pain. You know what I'm saying? Like that really should be the reason why he isn't doing it. If he isn't doing it, if you're going to make a reason. But it shouldn't be because he's scared that you're going to, bust the windows out his car and all of that bullshit. Okay. But anyway, she asked what he likes, and he likes a natural woman with tiger claws. And I'm like, she asked you what you like in a woman, and you instantly go to her having a real ass and stretch marks, even though we know that Shay has had a BBL. So what was that? What kind of passive aggressive, my woman ain't in a room, but I'm about to shade her in front of this other woman? What kind of shit was that? He talks about not breaking up with his ex the right way, which means it's caused a lot of issue. And he's being honest in this moment, but Tanisha isn't hearing that this man was still fucking with his ex when he moved into this relationship with Shay. She's not hearing that, even though that's what he said. She's hearing that he can't blend his family with Shay. So if he wants to blend his family with me, he can come and do it over here. And I'm just kind of like, you're missing that it's not Shay, it's him. And so when you move forward in relationships and get with a man and he dogs you out, no, it's because you automatically took the placement. Okay, you took the positioning that it was the woman's fault that the relationship wasn't working out because the man must be such a catch, right? Y'all gonna learn one day that being male identified is in your own worst interest. Like it's not in your best interest as a woman in a relationship to only view the man's point of view, because at some point you are going to be on the negative end of that man's point of view. At some point, you're going to be on the negative side of how he feels, and how he handles you when he's angry is really a testament to the type of man he is, if you ask me. Okay. Shorty the emasculator. Oh, I mean, listen, if he wasn't so weak, he wouldn't be able to be emasculated with the truth. You can say you don't have a job y'all be wanting people to say things softly to you. And honestly, if she emasculates him, he should just remove himself from the situation. But he doesn't want to remove himself from the situation because he wants her to continue to pay for him, which is emasculating within itself, that you are living with a woman and allowing her to take care of you. I don't want to hear about how her language emasculates him when he's living off of her. That, in fact, is an emasculation within itself, that you are living off of a woman at 35 years old. Y'all need to get it together. It's crazy to me how y'all think words that are the truth emasculate you, but the truth of the matter doesn't emasculate you. You needing her to take care of you is not emasculating. It should be, and that's not her fault. In all honesty, if you don't like the verbal abuse, then you should remove yourself from the situation. Because that's what we're asking of the women. If the women are in a situation where they're being abused by a man, we want the woman to leave. Like, ain't nobody about to be up here going through all of that with these niggas. But anyway, Charlie and Otis make their list for what they need. This conversation was extremely tiring. She wants quality time and good energy. Y'all, this was much like what happened with in Love and Marriage DC, which we're going to talk about next. Charlie and Otis make their list for what they need. She wants quality time and good energy. He says that, and when she said good energy, I know what she meant. It's easy for him to go at her constantly, like critiquing, criticizing, saying little slick shit. Like, I've been in relationships with people where it's hard to not argue because they say little things, and then when you clock them on it, then it starts the argument and you crazy, but they gaslit you into the argument because they saying things trying to get a reaction out of you. Thank you, Boho Barbie, for the super chat. Child, listen, I'm at a place where I feel like it is definitely possible for a man to be disrespected and emasculated by a woman, but the way y'all use it, it's as if the truth is more bothersome to you when it's being said from a woman, but the truth of the matter is not bothersome to you. And in that way, I feel like it no longer matters how it's being said or who's saying it. What matters is what's being said is the truth. Now, if it's what's being said is not the truth, then we would deal with that the way that should be dealt with. Somebody is saying negative things that aren't true about you, then obviously you need to remove yourself from the situation and that person is negative. But if a woman is telling you she's tired of you living off of her and you want her to be more careful with her words for your feelings, but you're not careful with your words for her feelings, even though she's taking care of you, well, that's weird. Smooth Will, she did not know he was a loser when she got with him. But that does not mean, because he lied to her. So you're negating the fact that he lied to her. It says to me that she probably had low self-esteem in some respect that she stayed with him. I think the sex was good. I think he made her feel good physically. And because she's already a woman in charge of her own shit, it wasn't really much for her. You know what I'm saying? I believe, how do I put a message on super chat? Somebody help Boho Barbie, please. Thank you for the super sticker. I mean, a super chat with the money. You got to type in there though. It should, be somewhere for you to type in there. I can't tell you because I'm not, because usually like it pops up, but somebody else can help you if they're on their phone or something. They can tell you what it looks like. But anyway, so like I said, she wants quality time. He says they spend a lot of time together and it's always quality. So once again, you're arguing with how she feels. So you're not listening. So it doesn't matter what she wants because you just want to argue, right? She says, not when you're on the phone or in group chats. He says, well, I would agree. We shouldn't be in the bed at midnight on the phone on Instagram. So now when she says he's doing tit for tat, he is, because it's not about what you need in a relationship. It's about trying to one up her. She says, so you want to be petty and go tit for tat. She says, I want to know what you want. It's not a negative conversation. Like, I'm not trying to beat up on you. He says, it's fine. So he takes her list and he instead of finishing his list, he takes her list and then reads it, which within itself kind of felt invasive or like he was trying to take control of the situation in this very condescending way. So he takes the paper and he reads it and it says words of encouragement. That broke my heart for her. And it's because I feel like he is extremely critical of her in a way that comes off like he's trying to remind her of how she's not good so that she won't ever see how great she is and leave his dusty ass. Okay? I really do think men that control mentally try to beat up on a woman's self-esteem by reminding her of the ways she's lacking. Okay, they will remind her of the ways that she is lacking in a unbalanced way, so that they can, constantly have her on her toes because a woman is going to respond. A woman is going to try to fix whatever she's doing wrong, right? So if you're telling her and constantly critiquing her, she's going to constantly be trying to fix what you're critiquing and therefore never being herself. Okay. There you go, Boho Barbie. She finally got it. Bondi, you're my friend in my head. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate you. I would love a real conversation over tea. Oh, child, I appreciate you. Maybe. Let's see what else is happening. But yeah, words of encouragement. Like how you take that and turn it into, oh my God, she wants me to be nice to her. Like, do you like women, Otis? And I'm not saying that like, are you attracted? I mean, do you like women? Do you have relationships with women that aren't based or predicated on sex or sexual attraction? Do you have any relationships with women that you just like them as a person? Probably not. And it's because you don't really like women, but you see women as a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? And you also see a woman as a way to gain other men's respect. How sexy, beautiful, intelligent, smart, bad your woman is for men that want to be successful and compete with other men of other races, like I believe Otis probably does. Their woman is a testament to how good of a dude they are. Like their woman being beautiful makes them look good. Their woman being really smart makes them look good. But there's also a part of it that I was able to make this smart, beautiful, powerful woman be weak to me. So that shows how powerful I am. And then they come together like, like evil little bitches or whatever. And they're like, oh, comparing how they're controlling their wives, like, or their girlfriends, like comparing how their women are a testament to their greatness. You know what I'm saying? I believe Otis is in the mindset of that. And so that's not a real like for women. That's using women as a bargaining tool in your relation with other men. So what else? When she said she just wanted more compliments, she wanted to hear the good stuff. The fact that she even said that, and he was like, but I feel like I do all this stuff. Okay, well, if you were doing it, she wouldn't be complaining about it. So do you think that she's lying about what she's saying to you for what? What would be the purpose of a woman complaining about a lack of encouragement, a lack of emotional attention? What would be the point of that? I want to know what niggas think the outcome is to me. Like, do you think women really complain just to complain all the time? Do you really think that? If you really think that, then leave that woman alone. If you think everything that woman is saying is coming from like a place of her just wanting to find issue and not really from her having a real problem and a real issue within the relationship that should be talked about and dealt with, if you really feel like that, then please leave the lady alone. Leave her alone and tell her she needs to go to therapy and get herself together because she finds an issue with everything. And you're going to find you a woman that doesn't have an issue with everything the way you feel. And then if you get in a relationship with a woman and she tells you the same thing the last woman told you, then I need you to go back to the previous woman and apologize to her because you didn't want to see that you were the problem. And so you made whatever her issues were minimalized. Minimalize them, act like it's nothing, act like you're already doing it, dismiss it, and then act like she's supposed to be happy in that type of relationship. That shit is stifling. Shorty and Tavy go salsa dancing for their date. They dance and smile and flirt and have fun. Meanwhile, Ken talks to Dr. Nicole one-on-one. Dr. Nicole sits down with Ken, and it always makes me feel like she's scared for her safety. He says it eats him up when he and Shorty are in a bad place. She calls him names. She denigrates him. She emasculates him, like Homeboy said in the comments. She tells him he wants, and this is what she said specifically that was degrading. He wants women out of his league. And she explained, you want women out of your league because you want women that have certain things, but you don't have those things. And is that not the same thing that some of you niggas leader was telling y'all before his untimely passing? Wasn't he telling everybody the same thing? He's telling the women that? That's how it started out, right? It starts out that how are you going to want a high value man or, a man with money or whatever when you don't have this, and this. And so when women start getting those this, and this, and they're coming to the table like, okay, well, now I have these things. And the partner that I would like, I want them to have those things too. And then y'all like, bitch, what's wrong with you? No, you can't have that. Look at you. You have all these issues. So no, you can't get a man that have the same thing you have because look at all these other issues that you have. He could have those same issues, but it doesn't matter because he's a man. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Kenneth is a trip all over the place. At the end of the day, nobody should be trying to be in a relationship offering up nothing and thinking that it's equal in some way. Okay? I also feel like a lot of men can't even do what women do when women stay at home. Like women are like the way women are emotionally supportive and the way women take initiative a lot of the times in these relationships. Like, do y'all see any of these women being bums? Look at all three of them. All two of them are with men seemingly who have money or who aren't poor. You know what I'm saying? Not like Kenneth, not living off of them. This nigga got money. This nigga got money. But do you feel like she's like living off of him or anything? No. But most of the dudes that she comes in contact with probably are more so like Kenneth. So at the end of the day, I'd rather deal with a nigga like this because at least this nigga got sense and got money and is on his business. He take care of himself. So I would rather deal with this type of nigga than to deal with that type of nigga. Okay? And see, Shorty probably feels like, I don't like getting cheated on. I don't like getting disrespected like that. So I would rather be the breadwinner and not have to deal with a nigga cheating on me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their thing that seems like, you know, the lesser of two evils in their eyes. You see what I'm saying? But in all of these situations, none of these women are asking for what they're not giving. None of these women, none of them are asking for what they are not already giving in the relationship. Shay already got you integrated in her family. Her family already love you and know who you are. You are a part of her life as her man. She's asking for that in like. She's asking for what she's already giving you. Shorty is asking for you to be equally yoked and get a fucking job and pay some bills and take some of the weight off of her. She really probably don't want to be with you because you're crazy. But ultimately, even if that is what she's asking of you, that's still asking you to do what she's already doing in the relationship. Otis and Charlena, they both are coming to the table, jobs, accomplished, smart, attractive. But one is emotionally giving of herself and the other person is not. Otis is not emotionally giving of himself because he doesn't have a connection to his emotions. It's hard to have a real heartfelt, deep, profound relationship with a man that cannot be real with his emotions because he can't even really like get down to them because he has so much shit on top of them. Okay, so this nigga needs therapy just all on his own before he can be with anybody. But the way we work in this society, especially Black people, we're not going to go and deal with those issues. We're going to be in relationships anyway and then just put our partners through bullshit because we don't want to go and get help for our mental and emotional issues that have been put upon us since we were children. Because obviously Otis has issues with his mom that he has never been able to resolve. And he takes that out on Charlie. I don't know what Charlie's makeup is, but something tells me, it's not hard for a woman to want to deal with bullshit so that she could have a man that looks like something to everybody else. Like most women go through bullshit because that's what society tells us to do. Society tells us to shut up, be quiet, quiet yourself. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't be like this. Fit into a box for a man, because if you don't fit into this very precarious box, for a man, you're not going to be able to have one. And then you're going to die alone. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, even if you've accomplished all this for yourself, Charlie, you still have to come to a relationship with a man and be manipulated and emotionally controlled. And like he withholds emotion. That's another thing he does. He'll love bomb her and then he withholds it. And so then she's like insecure and doesn't know how to feel and is looking for validation and he won't give it to her. And then he'll say you're being insecure and childish. But you created the deficit when you love bombed her. And then in order to spank her hand whenever she does something that you don't like, you withdraw emotionally. It's abuse. But okay. And then Kenneth, y'all, we were talking about Kenneth, but then I moved all over the place because that's how I usually do these reviews, girl. I'm just gonna go where my spirit take me, and you can just be along for the ride, or you could not. But I hope you are, and I hope you're enjoying it. So like the video. Thank you. 537 of y'all are in the room. After this, we're going right into Love and Marriage DC, and then call in for all of the shows, including Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, so Ken is having this conversation with Dr. Nicole where I think he's assuming that everybody feels how he feels. Everybody can see that. Oh, Smooth Will, it doesn't matter if you're disagreeing with me because you're wrong. It doesn't matter. You're wrong. It doesn't matter because I've just kind of covered all my bases. At the end of the day, Shorty absolutely has the opportunity to get out of this relationship if he would stop stalking her and showing up at her job and doxing her and taking pictures of her credit cards and her bank statements, all of which he agreed that he did. So I really want to know like how you can disagree with me here and think you're right. I don't know, but I don't really care. There's always somebody out there that thinks they're so much smarter than me in these situations, and that's cool. But right now, I'm on a roll. So go make your own YouTube channel. Okay. But like I said, Kenneth is sitting here having this conversation, and that's cool. But you can't tell me you love me and then tell me you disagree with me about this shit. You just cannot. Because y'all really like to see women as these like terrible people when society is not built for us to have this upper hand that you think we have over y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all be so controlled by pussy and physical and how things look. You view that as our fault instead of viewing that as something you need to gather and get together and have control of, and not to be moved by every fat ass or every vagina that's tight. Like, I'm just saying, like, a lot of y'all that have this attitude towards women, like y'all want the women to take more of a responsibility. Even when the women do take the responsibility, y'all want them to take more of a responsibility in the situation. Like, it's crazy to me. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? We're in the chat, so say what you will in the chat. Dr. Nicole talks to him one-on-one, and I think he thinks that Dr. Nicole is viewing this from his victimhood space because he thinks he's a victim. He says it eats him up when he and Shorty are in a bad place. She calls him names. She tells him he wants women out of his league. That digs the knife even deeper. She's a ferocious pit bull. See all of that? Like, that little bitty person that you in this relationship with. Okay? And what I say is, she's a ferocious pit bull chihuahua. So you're trying to make her look big and bad, as if your big ass can't walk out of her apartment and never come back. Right? Okay. So I don't like the way he's presenting her like she's so terrible and she's so abusive. You can leave. When she tried to leave you, you sat outside her job until she went home, and you followed her and begged her for you to come back. After you did all of the things that you do things to keep her from leaving you. So it's not as simple with Shorty that she can just leave. And are we not going to act like you niggas don't put hands on women and do all kind of crazy shit to women when they want to leave y'all, and y'all not ready for them to leave? So I feel like we're going to just discount the fact that men are physically stronger. And a lot of times when they are hurt, act out anger instead of acting out sadness. And he's already obsessive. So if she were to just leave him or kick him out, what would the response be? I feel like I saw something recently when he was snatching the phone from her or something. I don't know. I'm getting shots and I don't know where I'm getting them from. So I don't want to say nothing. But at the end of the day, like, are we gonna really sit up here and act like his ability to leave is the same as her ability to leave the situation? Because it is not. Dr. Nicole tells him there's dysfunction co-created, meaning that you have a part in a dysfunction. And he just wants to sit here and complain about Shorty. He can only control him, not her. And if she can't do what she needs to do to keep you happy, then you have to decide whether you want to leave or not. Dr. Nicole is telling him that he has a choice in this matter. So if she's so terrible and you're so unhappy with her and there's no way to fix it, then leave her. He feels like he's being bashed. It's easier to say someone is bashing you than to accept the truth of what they are saying. A lot of y'all do that. Men love to say they're being bashed when somebody is telling the truth about their experience of them. Y'all always jump to these very extremes when somebody's trying to hold you accountable for something very specific. Anyway, Shay goes on a date with DJ Silva. He has a 1-year-old. So she asked him how he has handled co-parenting with his baby mom. And he says, you know, whenever he's feeling somebody and he feels like it's about to get serious, that person is brought in and introduced to his baby mama. Okay. And it's just like that. And he says that if a man is not handling it that way, then he's playing games, because men are very simple. So they know how simple it is to just go to a woman and be like, listen, I don't want to be with you no more. This is my new bitch. Like, we saw it on Waiting to Exhale. Niggas is not scared to dump a bitch and tell her, you know, hey, I'm about to leave you for this other bitch. Like, niggas is not scared to do that. Stop it. Okay. So I love the fact that the DJ dude told her that. I'm so glad he did, because see, here's what happens. A lot of men aren't good men, even when they have daughters. And I feel like my dad used to tell me all the time, niggas know what they be doing. Don't let them make you think that they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing when they do certain things. When you start to notice that you feel like you're being manipulated, notice somebody is strategically doing that. And we have seen time and time again with a lot of these men where they do things that seem very strategic and manipulative, but they want us to believe that, you know, it's not something that they're doing on purpose and that it's just hard for them. DJ Silver is telling you, if that man did not make it clear what the boundaries were, it's because he's playing games. That was the fucking truth. And that's why I appreciated him for that. Because I feel like a lot of the girls don't have daddies. They don't have men in their lives that will keep it a buck and tell them that the rest of these niggas that are trying to lie to you, they know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So stop letting them make you think that you're crazy when you're calling them to task for the shit that they're doing. And that's that keep the lie alive shit that men go for. Y'all remember on Martin, keep the lie alive, keep the lie alive. That's why all of the men jumped on that bandwagon and started going. Y'all saw the way everybody responded to Jamal Bryant. Now, Jamal Bryant then been a whole disrespecting his wife and fucking women up on the church pedestal for years now, and ain't no man around said a motherfucking thing. As soon as he said something about Kevin Samuels having to GoFundMe for a funeral and talking to y'all about how to be high value, which he was not, then everybody wanted to go ahead and jump down his throat and talk about how, oh, this is just sad. This ain't right. This is disgusting. Oh, where was all that energy before? Where was all that energy before? Y'all don't have that energy now. So ain't it weird? And it's because they all like to do the same thing. Y'all, if they weren't saying that they were following him, they really believed it, because all of the men like to go to the same tune. Even Jamal knows that all of the men like to go to that same tune. So whenever you act outside of the tune that all of the rest of the niggas are on, you're either a man that recognizes that the other men are on bullshit and you are no longer being mind fucked by that bullshit, or you're trying to use that in order to get the women on your side, because the women, when they're on your side, you're in a good spot. A lot of men realize they don't need other black men or other niggas to be on their side when black women are on their side. A lot of them come to that conclusion and understand that and realize that they don't need to have the backing of T.I. and the rest of the, and the black men out here that like the, the Boosies. Y'all like to come and co-sign Bill Cosby. All of y'all like to come and back each other up publicly for shit. Y'all notice that? And then when Omarion comes and says the shit that he said, oh, y'all, Kevin Samuels, da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, I see you. You the Russell Simmons type. Because there's a type of man that is just as insidious as the rest of these niggas, but they go and get all of the spiritual shit a part of it so that they can make themselves seem less assuming. But their mindset is the same as those men. They just know how to pretend better. They know how to keep the lie alive better. So when they speak up, they're speaking up to defend something that's coming off like it's wrong, and we're defending what's right, and everybody needs to have compassion in their hearts. But you never exhibited any of that when it came to women, when it came to the negative things that were being made by people. Y'all were not in the comments with words of love and the compassion for the ladies. It's not balanced. And it's because y'all have to big each other up and back each other up when y'all are on bullshit. That's what y'all do. Okay, and that's why I like DJ Silver, because either he's using the truth to take your woman from you, or to get the woman on his side, or he's a real ass nigga that realizes a lot of you niggas be on bullshit, and I'm not about to go along with y'all on bullshit, because a lot of these niggas will use their bullshit against other men. And it's used as a tool to make other men weaken to them. But because, some men aren't that weak, they're going to be like, nah, nigga, fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about. Y'all sound crazy. Y'all sound weak. I said what the fuck I said. Now what? Okay. DJ Silver did his old co-host wrong some years ago. He probably did. That's why I say it's a possibility that he's using that as a manipulation tool, because people see how, they can get women on there. They get black women on their side. You winning. It don't matter what them niggas feeling like. Lisa Mooney, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate Bondy. Child, I'm just trying to give y'all what I feel. Okay. So they talked to Dr. Nicole. Otis says they talked about quality time and how it means different things for both of them. And then he says he wishes, then she says, Charlie says she wishes that he was more encouraging, and she gets emotional about him judging her. And he says his attempt to be her biggest cheerleader isn't being received. And Dr. Nicole asks, well, have you ever inquired about what will be received? And he says, no, not really. And, basically that's the problem. That's the problem. And that's how you don't understand how self-centered you are as a person, because you're not even thinking. It's not the same DJ Silver. Oh, okay. I didn't think that was the same. But that's his name. That was his DJ name, DJ Silver. Hold up. Because that's what I wrote in my notes. DJ Silva. I don't know if it was DJ Quick Silva or just DJ Silva. I don't know. I ain't got time. Y'all gotta watch the show. But it's not the same one from Love and Marriage DC. And that's DJ Quick. And I believe his name is Quick Silva. I don't know, y'all. I'm just confused at this point. It don't even matter. But like I said, I don't know that man like that. So it was either some real like using the truth to manipulate, or it was the actual truth of the matter, and he was just being a real ass man in that moment and letting her know that he ain't on that bullshit that Fonzo is on. Fonzo play games. That's why he laugh all the time, because shit is embarrassing and funny that he's still playing these games at this old age of his. So yeah, back to Otis and Charlie. She gets emotional about him judging her. He says his attempt to be her biggest cheerleader isn't being received. Dr. Nicole asks if he has inquired on what to do. He says no. He says in a confessional, he should have just taken whatever she says as real, whether he believes it or not. Did y'all hear that? He says, I should have just taken whatever she says as real, whether I believe it or not. So when y'all thought that Charlie wasn't being, when y'all thought Charlie might have been the issue in that last conversation that they had with the list, this is when you realize she knew that he wasn't being serious about it. And he was doing the tit for tat thing because he didn't believe what she was saying. And now he's saying he realizes that maybe he should have just believed what she was saying. Something is wrong with Otis. So we moved to Shay and Fonzo and his very, very pretty date. And Shay was like, very pretty. Yeah, bitch, very pretty. Get over it. The girl is very pretty. The girl is very attractive. Delilah energy all up and through. Yeah, okay. So what? She let her sit down, but she still gave her the rules. Dr. Nicole says Fonzo can make the rules. Shay is talking about the girl's shorts. That's another thing that aggravates me about Shay. That's another thing. I cannot stand when women use the slut shaming rules against other women. I can't stand that. You literally had your ass out on that last date. The dress that you had on to go out on that date when you and that girl almost had a fight, that dress was just as short as the shorts that old girl had on. But you had to mention it and how, oh no, she had them shorts was so short. How she gonna have them little shorts on in front of my man? Bitch, your man need to learn how to control himself no matter how a woman is dressed. Stop talking like that. Stop saying shit like that. Like, as a woman, I am so tired of other women like vocalizing the same ignorant things that men say to excuse their bad behavior. How a woman is dressed is of no consequence. Niggas will try to fuck you with sweatpants on at a gas station. Do you hear me? What she is wearing is of no consequence. You can't trust your nigga whether that girl had on baggy jeans or short shorts. You still can't trust your nigga. Deal with that. Oh my God, I cannot deal with y'all in the reinforcing of the rape culture, because that's what that is. She may not be saying it's okay for you to do something to her because her shorts are short, but the fact that the girl needed to be conscious of how she was dressed because your man may not be able to control himself is in fact grape juice culture. Rape culture. Okay. Anyway, Dr. Nicole says, but are you allowing him to do what he wants so you can see what the truth is? She's missing the point. Is he managing his actions and behaviors based on what he values? Or is he doing it because, you're controlling the situation? He has to create the boundaries for himself. And then we talk about her date with the DJ, Shadid. It was a fun date. He talked about how he would introduce his new girl to his baby mama. And if a guy doesn't see it that way, he's playing games. And that made Fonzo mad. And that's when I was like, that's exactly what it is, because niggas can't stand when another man doesn't keep the lie alive for them all. Because see, the lie has to be kept alive for them all in order for this to work. It's a lot like racism, right? So like, we all know that you having a white shade of skin does not make you better than black people. It doesn't. Like, you having light skin does not make you better than anybody. That literal thing is what causes so much strife, is our difference in skin tone. And now we've made it into all of these cultural things and all these other things that have reasons for them that were started off by somebody saying, I'm going to turn you into a slave, and then I'm going to say it's okay because you have dark skin. That's how it started. So I don't have to feel bad, and the world can, make it legal for me to do what I'm doing because I said you have dark skin and that's a bad thing. So how is that any different than men trying to convince women to stay small and keep giving up pieces of themselves to men who don't deserve it, just so we can all keep, this lie alive that men are more powerful and therefore women are less deserving. And so men have to make all the decisions and men have to be the ones in charge of everything simply because they are men. Just like white people should be considered as better simply because they're white. It's very much the same tactic of, as long as everybody is agreeing that this is what we're doing, then the people we're victimizing can't really do anything about it. As long as all of the white people are on the same accord, and then therefore all of the sub-white people below them, and then the black people that have been brainwashed, everybody's on the same accord, then we can never get out of the matrix we're in, because everybody's on the same accord, except for the people that see that this is abusive. And it's the same thing for the men. The men in our community and the men in the world keep the lie alive. You know what I'm saying? That they're stupid and they don't, I don't know what's going on. Even though I'm fucking all of these girls, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I have no responsibility. I can't control them. Even though I'm fucking old girl and I'm not handling this situation the right way, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know. It's not, no. It's not just straight black men. No, it's not. There are a lot of gay men that uphold this same shit, the same misogyny. Anyway, so Shorty went on a third date with Tavy. He led during the date. Oh wait, no, I don't want to skip. They discussed Fonzo making steps, but he can't control his mom or his baby mama, so Shay has to understand and be patient. To me, it sounds like you went steps back somehow, and I don't understand, because it sounds like you're back to making excuses for his behavior. Okay. Something must have happened that we don't know about. So Shorty went on a third date with Tavy. He led during the date, and that made her feel comfortable. Ken views her, explaining her date as jabs against him. She says that she has to tiptoe around telling the truth. And he says, no, you don't tiptoe around nothing. Okay. You always go in on me. It's like, well, you view it as going in because it upsets you to hear that you aren't the depiction of a man that everybody views is a depiction of a man, which is a man that takes care of himself. That embarrasses you, but it doesn't embarrass you enough to do anything about it because you're comfortable in being lazy and allowing somebody else to take care of you. So you're going to act like she's so wrong for how she do me, even though I'm taking advantage of her and I don't care to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're mad about it. If it's not praising you, you're mad about it. You're mad because she had a good date. You're mad because that man took the lead and was light and wasn't all heavy and all fucking wallowy. Like Kenneth is very like draining emotionally. And Tavy is light and happy and his own person and not taking things too seriously. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely understand why that date was so fun for her and why she was able to be so comfortable with him, because him not acting like a fucking crazy person, like, was just comfortability. They could not have chemistry. It wasn't even about not having chemistry. It was about being in a man's, being with a man that wasn't sucking all of your energy dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't needing of you in some way. She says, when she said she tiptoed, he went in on her, but she has her expectations because she's paying the bills. She said, no, if you're not working, I expect my house to be clean and food to be cooked, which, I mean, you saw the size of the apartment. That's not much to ask. So if those things aren't being done, then she has, a reason to complain, basically. You know what I'm saying? He says that she doesn't tiptoe and his good gestures are expected and not acknowledged. And this is the thing that you don't understand. She says, I'm not going to pat you on the back for assisting me. So him saying his good gestures are not being acknowledged. What are your good gestures? What are your good gestures? Because if she feels like I'm paying all the bills, okay, I'm forgiving you when you do things that kind of are unforgivable, that you would not forgive. Okay, that's another thing. I'm forgiving things that you would not forgive in this relationship. So there's already an unbalance there. Okay. But outside of that, I'm picking up most of the load financially. And so when I ask of you, I'm not expecting to hear argument from you because I do for you. Why are you arguing with me about anything I ask of you? I do for you without arguing with you about it. Okay. So I feel like as a woman, I don't think she saw anything wrong with her being the breadwinner until she realized that he was just trying to take advantage of her. Because there's a difference between somebody that needs help getting on their feet or needs encouragement and somebody that looks for women specifically so that they don't have to work, so that they don't have to ever pay rent, so that they don't have to pay utility bills all the time. Him sitting up there talking about he pay bills. Why would you even have to say that if you pay bills? Why would you even have to say that if you pay bills? That wouldn't even be a topic of conversation in my household because everybody in this motherfucker pays bills. You're bringing it up because you know that you don't pay bills. Dr. Nicole asked if he sees it as harsh that, you know, what Shorty he said, and he was like, you know what, I'm just numb to it at this point. And I'm like, because he is like basically decided to live and delve into his victimhood, making y'all believe that he's the victim and Shorty is so wrong for the way she's treated him. Like, because he's decided to do that, and because a lot of y'all want to believe so badly that little bitty woman is just some dangerous little ferocious pit bull chihuahua mix that he can't get off his big ass Doberman picture size leg. Like, okay, if y'all want to believe that that man is weak in the way that he can't get out of that situation, go ahead and believe that. I got a bridge I want to sell you. Holler at me in the DMs. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to move on to which I already then came here to talk about, which is the newest of the OWN shows. Okay, listen, Love and Marriage DC. Before I get into it, please like the video. Listen. Oh Lord. No, I did not watch Carlos' nightcap show because y'all, I honestly forgot that yesterday was the 14th. I'm sorry. I did. I forgot all this shit was coming on. I just knew Love and Marriage Huntsville was coming on. I forgot this was coming on, and I forgot Carlos' show was coming on. So I didn't even have this shit recorded. I had to watch it on YouTube TV, girl. Shout out to YouTube TV. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So Monique Samuels wants to introduce herself to y'all because she really does feel like Real Housewives of Potomac did not show a full picture of her. It showed her as being volatile. It showed her as being messy. You know, it showed her as being rich and fabulous and a businesswoman, but it didn't show her in her full capacity. You know, it showed her as a mom, but you know, it didn't show her the way I feel like she wanted to be depicted, which I can understand because Real Housewives of Potomac is different than the shows we get on OWN. I think the shows we get on OWN are more, when they're like this, Love and Marriage is more realistic to what's happening versus how Real Housewives of Potomac has a storyline it follows. You know what I'm saying? They're all doing it, but to an extent, Carlos allows for things to happen in an organic manner, even if he's the one inciting the drama. But initially, Carlos is going to bring out whatever is going on in the most realistic and most honest way possible. And that is what I really enjoy about Carlos. Like, Carlos is really good them first couple of seasons of getting out natural, like unmitigated, this is what is going on, this is what it is. And people will start out trying to hide shit and eventually it comes out. Whereas on Real Housewives of Potomac, I feel like they have their favorites and they absolutely shoot in a way and produce in a way that goes along with how they want you to see each character. And I feel like it doesn't really give you the same on Love and Marriage. Like, you really can decide how you feel on Love and Marriage. Whereas I feel like, for instance, like with Giselle and them, Giselle and Robin bring nothing to the table, yet they are like basically the heads of the franchise. Robin just be, because she's an extension of Giselle, brings nothing to the table. Yeah, she's the head of the show. How? Okay, like it doesn't even make sense. And it's funny to me because I feel like it didn't used to always be like that. It was whoever had the most drama or the most attention that season will probably be sitting next to the host during the reunion show and all of that type of shit. And as we got to see on, Potomac, it really wasn't about, any of that anymore. It really was more so about who Andy and them decided that they liked. And that wasn't based off storyline. That wasn't based off what they gave to the viewership. It was based off how they were seen by Andy and probably how they were seen by production and whoever else is in charge and wants it to be geared towards viewing a certain person in a certain light. Okay. Honestly, I feel like a lot of y'all want to see Monique in a negative way no matter what. High vibe. Yeah, I feel like some of y'all want to see Monique in a negative way no matter what. Monique is not looking good in this series. It's one episode. It's one episode, but she isn't looking good. Okay, I'll accept that. She's a know-it-all. How is she a know-it-all when half of the episode she was trying to get information from Arena and Jamie on how to like make your marriage work when you're having a hard time? If she was a know-it-all, she wouldn't be trying to get that knowledge from somebody else. So I don't agree with that assessment based off this first episode. And she belittled her husband. I don't think she belittled him. I don't know when you feel like she belittled him, but I also feel like the conversation that they were having at the end of the episode was very they were having a conversation without trying to give too much away about what they were talking about. And I feel like what I was seeing was there's something that Chris has like as an issue in life that he isn't exactly dealing with. And he does all of these other things to make up for how he isn't connecting or what he isn't doing in this way. Because he's in therapy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know when you feel like she belittled him, because I don't know if I feel like that at all. I mean, how the fuck you belittle Chris? Ain't no fucking making Chris look little. Okay. Right. But I just kind of feel like comments like that, like that's why I had to put it up there. And that's no disrespect to you, but I just had to put that up because I'm like, this is just one episode and already it's all of this. So like, just say that you don't like her and you're not going to like her no matter what she's giving. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't want to like her, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But don't like watch one episode of something and then come up with all of these reasons for why she was so trash when really like, what? Like, no. Yes, this is what I got. She didn't belittle him. What I got from it is Chris doesn't take certain tasks serious. Anything that's probably more about the mental and emotional, he's not going to take it as serious. When it comes to the mechanical, I can help you with your business. I can pay bills. I can get the kids cleaned up. But when it comes to connecting on an emotional level that can lead to, all of the romantic feelings and all of that, y'all, marriage is hard. And it's hard to reconnect when a person doesn't have the capability to do that. So I feel like what we're about to see from Monique and him is more so Monique was doing too much at the anniversary where like, girl, ain't nobody trying to answer no damn questions. And I got that too. But I also felt like, what the fuck people have 26-year anniversary parties for and think that people aren't going to be like, so how y'all made it to 26 years? Like, people are going to ask that question. I do feel like she was pushing it, but I feel like she's pushing it and being annoying about it, to y'all and to the people in the scene, because that's what she's going through right now. And she's really looking for help there. So that's why I was like, I don't know how that comes off as know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm actually to a kind of desperate degree trying to gain some understanding of something I'm having a hard time with, that doesn't seem like a know-it-all. You see what I'm saying? So like, that I feel like even with that, like, anyway, y'all. But like I said, Monique is trying to reintroduce herself to everybody. She's still doing Not for Lazy Moms podcast. She has her YouTube. They didn't talk about that, but y'all know she does that. She filmed her podcast in Kendra Scott, the jewelry store, which is very beautiful. I believe Kendra Scott is Black, right? It's like Black-owned boutique jewelry store. Girl, my mama got me a gift certificate for them, and I need to go in there and buy something. Ashley Silva, red dress. Okay, everybody's beautiful. I love the aesthetic of the show. I'd like to say that the graphics, how rich and beautiful everybody looks, I'm here for it. The only person that is causing me issue is Winter when it comes to the aesthetic. I feel like everybody comes into it and they're looking mwah. Okay, it's peach, it's juice, it's good, it's healthy, it's giving ripe skin, it's giving everything it needs to give. Okay. But see Winter with half of her hair gone and like the track just right there. I was just kind of like, is that a track? She's ruining the aesthetic for me in this moment, but I like her. I think she is bringing the mess that we need, because see, here's the thing. I think that what we're seeing is that it's all marriages where we're trying to keep it together, but there are obviously things going on behind the curtain. All right. And I'm not going to say behind the scenes, because I feel like it's more so than behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is what's going on in real life, but behind the reality show, I'm talking about what's going on in people's actual marriages that they're not even really telling their friends and family, which is why the question of how do y'all get through hard issues is being ignored, because it's almost like, girl, we don't deal with our hard issues. We just keep going and acting like nothing is happening. Basically, that's why they didn't have an answer for that. And that's why that was so aggravating to them that she was asking them that, because they really don't have an answer. They don't. It seems to me, just off rip first impressions. I could be wrong, y'all. It's the first episode, but I feel like Arena and Jamie have shit going on that they have not dealt with. And that's why they don't have that advice to give. Okay. But I feel like I said, everybody has something going on in their marriages that can cause discourse in their lives. You have Winter, who's not a part of the cast, but she's a part of the storyline, and she's the one whose life has just exploded. So if there's somebody on the show who's just had all of their shit come out and everybody else on the show is trying to keep their shit together, you know what's going to happen, right? Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay, it's going to cause an issue, because just because all her shit is out on the table, it's going to cause like a domino effect with the people that she's around, where their shit is going to start to be leaked out and come out, whether it's from her or just by fact of being near her. So if we're talking about her shit, then somebody else's shit might come up just by product, right? And, in producing. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing about the show. And that's why I feel like the show is going to be good. I feel like they're setting us up right now. The first episode is the setup for everybody and what life looks like. Okay. This is what it looks like. It all looks good. We got a few little issues here and there, but it all looks shiny and nice still. By the time we get to the end of the season, child, we'll see what all these marriages look like. Okay. But yes. So Ashley Silva has a podcast. That's how her and Monique know each other. Arena Tyler, she's the oldest. She and her husband are TikTok famous. Her husband is a party promoter. Ashley Silva's husband is DJ Quicksilver. He is the DJ on this show, not the same one that was on the last show. Okay, even though they seem to have the same name, child, just from different places, I guess. But this DJ Quicksilver is international and is famous. Yeah. But anyway, Monique slid in Arena Tyler's DMs because she wanted to be connected to women who are on her level and higher. So this is the thing that Sharice was talking about when she was saying that Monique was a social climber. And I understand that. I really, really do. But I also feel like there's how do I say this? There's a genuine way to want to be friends and be around people that are doing better than you. Because that's how I feel. I don't want to be around anybody that's not on my level or better, or at least trying to get on my level or better. Like, it's about the mindset of the people you're around. If you're always around people that are on basic bitch shit, you know what I'm saying? They're not trying to do nothing with their life. Everything is an argument with a woman or a man. They hate their job. They hate their life. Wham, wham, wham. Woe is me. They're not thinking about, how they can expand their lives, how they can grow. Like, especially for me, like as a woman, I like the fact that a lot of the women that I'm friends with are business women and own their own businesses and are striving to capitalize and grow in that respect and be whatever this world, has in store for them at its most capacity. Like, I appreciate women that are like that myself. So of course, I want to be friends and be around women that are like that. Okay. So I don't want to be around, and that's why I say, and it's the same thing with Melody. I feel like when you are a woman like that, it's like you have to find other women that are also like that so that y'all aren't using each other. Because it's so easy when you are a woman like that or a man like that to attract friends and family members who aren't on your level, and because you love them or because y'all click on another level, homegirl level or whatever, you will carry them with you or have them with you, and they're not on your same level, so they're not helping you grow, and in some ways can be holding you back. Okay, it's a fact of life. Okay, you have to be careful about who you are friends with, if those friendships are supposed to flourish for you in a real way. Like, some people don't think about their friendships as it pertains to their careers or business. Me personally, I do, because I recognize how it don't matter what I do, people that are friends with me or in relation to me will be included in how I do my business, because my business is also part of my life. So y'all are following me on Instagram because I'm a YouTuber. So if I have friends that have businesses, I'm an automatic, you know what I'm saying, advertisement for them sometimes. So it matters if they are also a woman that can be of value to me versus me only in some ways being of value to them. So I can't be friends with just any old body. You see what I'm saying? Because that relationship will not be equally yoked, and I'll end up feeling used. I'll end up feeling like I'm around a whole bunch of energy vampires. Sound familiar to anybody? I'm gonna let it go. But that's why I feel like, things can, there's always a good side and a bad side to some shit. Okay. Like Bondi said, just say you don't like her. Y'all try to create issues where there is none. Fix your own. I mean, it's crazy. Chris Focus is to end the discussion. If that means apologize, say she's right, whatever takes to end the discussion. Monique just wants to finish a sentence and be heard. Common issue. And that's what I was saying. Oh my God. Hey, DJ Richie Sky. Oh my God. I hate that your Abby is so cute. I'd be so jealous of him because he's so pretty. I'm just saying, y'all, like, thank you, DJ Richie Sky, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Okay, child. If anybody is fitting into the love and marriage DC aesthetic with just being like beautiful and perfect looking, it's DJ Richie Sky, girl. Okay, listen, I appreciate you, love. I need to go and watch your interview with Destiny, but child, she made my ass itch. So I was like, I need to take a little break. I'm gonna come back. Okay. But yes, child, y'all know DJ Richie Sky. He always be on it. So yes, y'all. Girl, so Winter and half of her bald head in that one track in the middle. I said, not the one track in the middle. It's giving rough. And Ashley and Arena noticed it and was like, oh, she looked like she, living a little rough, girl. What's going on? And she get on the mic and she tell everybody her story. And basically she talked about how in her first marriage, he was an NFL player. I think he played with Chris, and that's how they know each other. And she says she found out that he had an affair with the nanny. And then after that, he had 2 kids on her. So that was the first marriage. This second marriage, we didn't get any information on at the time, but we will later on. But Ashley and Arena were giggling and laughing and saying that they were bored. And I was just like, I'm trying to understand how you bored when she telling y'all all this juicy ass tea about her life. I'd have been like, girl, how you found out? And what happened? And when was the babies? And how old are the babies? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you bored? I don't know, but it felt mean girlish. I'm not gonna lie. Ashley and Arena, it felt real mean girlish in this moment. Okay. But anyway, Arena is having her anniversary party, her 26th anniversary party. And Monique said, then I need a Q&A, girl, because I need to know how to make it work, girl, because it's 10 years and we struggling. So I need to have some understanding. Okay. And you know what's so funny? Do you know what's so funny? Me and Monique did a panel what that was, maybe last year. And I actually asked her a similar question. So I think it's so funny that she was trying to understand that same shit for herself. People be in different parts of their marriages, but it doesn't mean that the issues will always be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really can have the same issue going on in 2 different marriages that have 2 totally different sets of circumstances. But Monique and Chris, okay, so he's helping her with her business on top of working out. And that's what I said. Like, I think Chris is good at doing, but I don't think he's good at giving the emotional support that is needed in long-term relationships in order for them to continue to be fruitful and grow. Okay. So what I mean is I do see Chris as like he's gonna do. Oh, I need to help with the kids. I'm gonna help with the kids. Or I need to go to the store. Or I need to put this together. Or I need to pay for this. Or I need to go and call these people. Like Chris is gonna do all of that shit. And y'all, that's a great thing. But long-term marriages require a lot of mental and emotional connecting on part of both people in order for the relationship to continue to be fun. And when I say fruitful, I mean, not just having children, but like wanting to have sex with each other, being turned on, joking, just being in a good space with each other on a day-to-day basis. That shit takes a lot of honesty and a lot of like inner reflection. It really, really does. Like, I feel like you cannot be in a relationship happy long term if y'all are not connecting on a mental emotional level, which means I understand how I'm feeling so I can communicate it to you, and you understand how you feeling so you can communicate it to me, and then we're listening to each other and trying to respond in a way that helps the other person while helping ourselves. That is very hard to do. And I feel like the type of person that Chris is probably one of those people that just really doesn't know how to communicate how he's feeling. That ends up becoming a serious issue in a relationship if a woman is looking for emotional connection. You see what I'm saying? Like at the beginning of a relationship, when things are all exciting, it's easy to ignore that you're not connecting on that deeper level because all of these other things make you feel like you're connecting on that deeper level. You know what I'm saying? He's established, you're beautiful, the sex is good, y'all joke, y'all have a good time together, y'all like doing stuff. So the doing, and that's the thing, so many men don't do. So whenever you come across a Chris, you're gonna be like, oh my God, snatch. You know what I'm saying? And then when you come across a Monique, no matter what y'all say, you're going to snatch because she's beautiful and she will submit to you. She'll play her role, but she's not going to spend your money all up. She's going to find a way to add to your table. She's going to give you the beautiful children. She's going to be the housewife. Like she was going to give him the picture wife that he needed. And he was going to give her the supportive, financially, stable and solid husband she needed. But beyond that, it needs more. It needs to connect on a deeper level for it to continue to grow past okay, we have the beautiful children, we have the great house. Now what? You see what I'm saying? It's always something to accomplish. And once you start accomplishing those things, you kind of get to a place where it's like, okay, so, but what do we even still, like, how are we still vibing or connecting or feeling each other? And I feel like Monique and Chris are at a space where they are not on the same page and they're trying to figure out how to get on that same page. But I feel like it's hard for them to communicate that because Chris is a very, like, he wants to keep the shit close to the vest. And I think she's trying to get him to talk about it, even in life. Like in life, she's trying to get him to talk about it and she can't get him to talk about it, let alone doing this shit on a reality show. Exactly. He's not a communicator. He's a taskmaster. And Monique being the Libra that she is, she can balance a lot. But at some point as a woman, you need mental and emotional validation. It can't just be about what you're doing. It has to be how I'm feeling, how we're connecting. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Chris has, a lot of the times been such steadfast in his actions that he has been missing the connecting portion of what needs to happen in their marriage. And I was getting to a point where it's not going to continue to work out because now Monique is at a place where, okay, we have the children, we have the great life, we have the money. If I'm not going to get what I need from you mentally and emotionally, well, then I can do the rest of this shit by myself. So that's the reason why you don't know and also the busyness. Absolutely. The busyness of the NFL kept him too busy to dive deep. Now they are home and the relationship needs to go deeper and he is needing to adjust. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Shayna J, for the super chat. It's the sun kiss shorty for me. Thank you. Hey, boo, just checking in. I can't wait till you discuss love and marriage. I didn't miss it because child. And by the way, you and Mama Bondi look good at Nisi Wed. Thank you. I had so much fun. I love that I was there to witness it. They're so beautiful. I love Nisi and Ted. And the wedding was beautiful. Everybody, it was a lot of love in the room, and I was feeling it. Y'all know I be like all of my emotions empathically whenever everybody is in a good space. Chris comes from the school of thought, I've already taken these physical things off the table. How am I not giving you what you want? And that makes me wonder. And Monique has never said anything. And you know, when he said there have never been any babies at the door, when somebody tell you there's never been any babies at the door, that means I've cheated, but it ain't never came to your doorstep. And you know how we all cheat, but shit be coming to women's doorsteps, i.e. Melody Holt, okay? At least I ain't Martell Holt, you bitch. Niggas will always compare themselves to lesser men to get their women to back up off of them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, yeah, she's a Libra. That's why me and her clicked. Because Gemini's, Libras, Aquarius, child, we all click. Air signs, child, we just be clicking. That is what it is. But yeah, moving on from there. Speaking of Arena, we see her life. Her mom lives with her. She has 3 adult children, it seemed like, and one of her sons is visually impaired. He's 21. He still lives with them. Her mom is a great part of like cooking and cleaning and getting, the mom is basically there to help. And that's great. I love when, I don't like to make it seem like, people be loving to do that type of shit, like certain women love to cook and clean and take care of their family and all of that. But, it do be given, service. It do be given maid. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the fact that if anybody's going to be in a house with you, it's your mama. You know what I mean? So Jamie is a party promoter. He says it was hard to get Arena because she didn't like light-skinned men, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, she probably felt like me. Ain't nobody got time to be competing with you for mirror time, nigga. Get off me. Anyway, Arena brings up Lil Jamie, which is their oldest. Him and Big Jamie are not in a good place right now, and it's because Lil Jamie is out here living his life like he ain't have no daddy. And I think a lot of men, once they try to talk to their sons and their sons don't listen, they emotionally withdraw. And when they emotionally withdraw, to me is what they view as tough love, but in some forms it can be abuse, because what's really needed is emotional connection. But because men sometimes don't have the capacity to give that emotional connection or understanding, especially to their boy sons, because they don't relate on that level, but that doesn't mean that's not what's needed. We'll get to it. But when I was looking at Lil Jamie at the end of the episode, I was like, that nigga need a hug. Like, I don't know what I'm seeing, but it feel like somebody that y'all didn't give emotional support. Like, not y'all, but him. He did not give emotional support to his son, because his son was looking at him like he wanted that, you know what I'm saying? Like he wanted that emotional support and he didn't get it. And the way Jamie talks about work in his life, I really do think a lot of fathers feel like as long as I'm providing and I'm here, and you're not doing anything wrong, then I don't really need to have conversations with you like that, because it's uncomfortable for them to talk. So a lot of times these niggas be needing conversations. They be needing somebody to talk to them, not somebody to just pop in when they doing the wrong shit. And I feel like a part of me feels like the dad probably was one of those types of dads that I really don't have shit to say until you're doing the wrong thing. And then I'm going to pop in and say something, versus, the emotional support that you probably needed earlier on, but I didn't have the capacity to give you, Arena brings Lil Jamie up and says how they're not in a good place, but he's coming to the anniversary party. And Big Jamie was like, child, I'll wait to see it. Okay. Arena takes Lil Jamie to look at cars, and she has to preface it with she's not paying for anything. And, he said he's gonna get a Acura, but she basically cries and talks about how they're worried about him getting hurt. And that makes us know that he's out here into some street shit. So I ain't gonna lie. I feel like we see this so often. We see this so often in our community. Men who have had to like scratch and survive good times out of like, harsh living situations to get money and put their children in comfortable schools and neighborhoods and take them out of that. They also in some ways make those children feel bad for not having the street smarts that they acquired by necessity, right? But because those kids don't live in those environments, they don't have to acquire those street smarts, but they're still made to feel like they're missing something because they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, I think they go out and try to get credibility from the streets because it makes them feel like they're not getting the real respectability of being a black man when they are the children of rich black men, because that means that I've been taken care of. I didn't grow up hard. I didn't have no street life. So I'm gonna go out there and get involved in street shit so it can make me feel like I'm a man, like I'm worthy, when really that's not what makes you a man. But the fathers get so upset because usually they have done the things they've done thinking that my son won't have to do that. My son won't have to live like that. My son won't have to do that. So when their children make the decision to go and live that life on purpose, I think the men get mad because it makes it look like I was not there for you. Because the niggas that choose to be out there running in the streets usually don't have daddies. And they're usually out there out of necessity, especially the men of not DJ Quicksilver, but Jamie's age. The men of Jamie's age range, they feel like they did that shit out of necessity. And if they had rich parents, they wouldn't have been out there doing the shit that they was doing to survive. You know what I mean? And he even talked about how his dad had to talk to him and get him on the straight and narrow. I'm sure he wasn't rich, but you still had a 2-parent household, but y'all still living close to the streets. So it's like easily right outside your front door. This nigga, I believe, probably moved his kids outside of that, and his kids still went and sought it out. So I think he's mad. I think in some ways he's angry with his son because you're making me look like I didn't do what I was supposed to do by you, because you still out here making decisions that you don't have to make. So that's what I was picking up off of Big James and Lil Jamie and Raina in that whole situation. And I also feel like because he wasn't around a lot, the mom probably did some coddling to make up for the daddy being gone and working late hours and all of that. I'm not sure, but when she said, I'm not buying anything and the daddy not talking to him, it made me feel like you have probably made allowances in a way that have circumvented the tough love that the daddy was trying to give. So we'll, delve deeply into it later, I'm sure, but that's what's going on with them, girl. DJ Quicksilver and Ashley, they have 2 kids. One is middle school, one is high school. They got a dog. He works at nights like a DJ, okay, like, because everybody's in the nightlife, basically. She doesn't have time to write her book. She's a writer. She's an entrepreneur. And she also does a lot of the things at home. And she's trying to get out of the shadow of her husband. A lot of the women are basically trying to assert themselves and get out of the shadow of their husbands. And it's funny, we're in 2022. And in order for these women to be with men that financially support them and take care of them, they had to give up what they wanted for themselves as women, and now trying to find that and get that back, because you realize, like I told y'all in the Wait to Exhale video, child, you can do all of this shit, but if it's not your thing for you, you're going to need something for you, because you're not going to be happy no matter how much money he has, no matter how beautiful and successful the children are. If you don't have something for yourself, everybody else's accomplishments will always still feel like their accomplishments and not yours. Your kids are your accomplishment, but essentially that's not the same thing. So Arena and Jamie have their anniversary party, and Winter tells Monique and Chris about she and her current husband Kevin not being together. She says some things transpired. I don't know, but it sounds like he may have cheated, and they were calling him a scammer, and he looks weird. So I don't know what's going on there, but they were calling him a scammer. And then he went in to stay at his parents' house. So I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to get more from Winter about how she has bad taste in men. Because that's what it feels like. The first one dogs you out hella hard, and this one is giving us creepy scammer vibes. Yeah, you have bad taste in men. We're gonna have to dive into why you're making these decisions at some point, Winter. Quick and Ashley get there, and then Arena and Jamie, and they made their entrance, and they all sit down, and Monique is asking them, how do they resolve conflict after all these years? And they're deflecting. Girl, we not trying to do that. We trying to party. We trying to have a good time. Y'all are literally sitting down to have a conversation. Y'all are sitting at a table. If y'all was trying to have a good time, go get up and go dance. But we're doing a show, so at some point there's gonna have to be dialogue. So if we're asking you, at your 26th wedding anniversary, how y'all stayed together for so long, I want everybody to stop acting like that was weird. Like, what's the occasion for if you're not going to talk about how you've been together for 26 years? Like, I don't understand. But I do understand that Monique was like pushing the subject when it was obvious that that's not what she wanted to talk about. And I think later on when Monique and Chris talk about it, they clocked that there was obviously still some shit that they haven't figured out, which is why they can't give you any advice, but they don't want to say that because we're still here to celebrate 26 years of marriage. Okay. But Monique was definitely coming from the place of her issues and trying to gain some type of help and clarity on her issues, because I think they're all encompassing. I think it's hard to not feel when you're in a marriage and the shit fucked up. That's a lot of times all you feel. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else helps you get your mind off that. But your default is to be worried or thinking about whatever is going on in your marriage. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is when you're in a bad place or until you decide to detach emotionally. But when you're still in it, and you still trying to figure it the fuck out, almost everything in your mind leads you back to the marriage and in the situation. So you had a 26th wedding anniversary, bitch. We gonna ask questions, girl. Help me. Okay. Me and this nigga been fighting every day. What we gonna do, girl? Help. Okay. Like real nigga shit. Y'all know that's really what happened in real life. But we gonna act like Monique is being extra and annoying and all of that shit. Got it. Okay. So Lil Jamie comes in and Monique said, okay, yeah. Monique said the reason why she really was drilling at, trying to understand. I don't think it was about rehashing bad times as much as it was about like just how do y'all get over it? How do y'all get to the good times, And if you haven't gotten to the good times, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to rehash anything, but you could definitely give advice once you figure things out without rehashing. There's a way to do that. But Monique says that her parents got divorced after 23 years of marriage, and she doesn't want to be like them. And then she doesn't want to be like Chris's parents that are more like friends. So she's saying she still wants to have that hot and heavy connection with her husband forever. But he's going to have to be giving emotionally in some way in order for that to happen, because that's a connection that requires more than just the doing. That requires the thinking and the talking and the communicating and all of that shit that he's not good at. Lil Jamie comes in and him and his dad talk. He was like, I'm gonna go ahead and make the first step. And, both beautiful men, but they were talking about how Lil Jamie was getting high all the time, smoking weed and hanging with the wrong people. And he didn't think the weed was harming him, but the weed was, making him make bad decisions. And I was just kind of like, y'all can blame the weed all y'all want to, but the weed ain't got nothing to do with why that little boy is trying to lull pain inside of his chest. When I was looking at him, he looked a little high, but he also looked like he was going to cry in the car, which means there is something inside of him when it comes to his dad that hurts. And it's not being resolved or fixed really. So he's constantly in a space of trying to hold his emotions together, because he can't be doing all of that in front of his dad, because his dad is not like that. Like his daddy told him, I don't have to tell you all the time, but I love you. If you need me, I'm there. I'm always going to go in deeper than anybody else. I don't always have to tell you. He was like, but I would like to hear that you love me. When he said that, that lets you know that that son issue is probably not the drugs. It's probably not hanging with the wrong people. It's probably needing some type of emotional validation from his dad that his dad was not giving him. And so he went out with the friends trying to find that validation and got himself in trouble. And you probably carry a lot of heavy shit. And yeah, he looked heartbroken. Yes, I'm not the only one that saw it. Okay. Like, the look on his face, like I wanted to cry. I was like, I don't know what's going on with Lil Jamie, but whatever Lil Jamie is out there in the streets doing is a byproduct of him not dealing with whatever hurt is going on. Because I feel like Lil Jamie was smoking weed because Lil Jamie wants to cry all the time. Like, I don't know what's going on, but in here, when I was watching him, this shit feel heavy. This shit feel like a rock up in here somewhere when I was looking at him. So I'm like, a lot of times niggas really don't know how to like communicate, understand, get rid of the feeling. So they dull it. They dull it with sex. They dull it with video games. They dull it with alcohol. They dull it with weed. They dull it with drugs. But you're still trying to dull something and you're trying to numb it. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with what it is. And because men like his dad don't know how to deal with their emotions them damn selves, they can't teach their sons how to deal with their emotions. And then they get mad at their sons for dealing with their emotions in a bad way. smoking weed can be a good thing. Smoking weed can definitely be a good thing. It just depends on what the issue is, how you're using it, what you're using it for. I think people can make bad habits out of anything. And that's why I said it's not about the drugs. Because when we were in college, we smoked weed a lot as well. And guess what we were doing in college? And graduating from college and then getting businesses and then having families. But we did spend a lot of time in college smoking weed all the time. It's not about the weed. It's about what's going on underneath it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it can be. Just spark one. Listen, people that take that approach with, y'all don't, like y'all can be in the 80s where y'all at, that's fine. But weed is not a bad thing. It's about the people that smoke the weed and how they're using it. Okay. Because weed can be a great anti-anxiety medication on top of all of the other beneficial properties that it has for people with ailments. You know what I'm saying? It is not the weed. It is the fact that boy is trying to lull pain with weed. Hell, they got a lot of drugs that help people get more spiritual or mental clarification. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of things that God put on this earth for us to use, because people love to use things at access and without thought. You know what I'm saying? Oh, oh, you don't know what I do. You don't know what I do. Oh my God. No, it's not a good thing. You're just saying that because you smoke it. It's like, try not smoking it at all. Okay. It's like, girl. Okay, ma'am. Okay. All right, girl. You don't know what you're talking about, but go off. Y'all see what I mean? Like just projecting loud as fuck all the time. Don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like child, please try not smoking it at all. Like you know what people do all the time. Like you have an understanding of everybody and what they go through and how that girl do better. Do better. Danielle, do better, girl. Anyway, Monique and Chris talk. Right? Child, if it was that bad, you got to talk to all of these states that are, turning it into medicinal and making money off of it and all of that shit. Talk to the, all the states. Talk to the Supreme Court that's about to make it legal on a federal level. Talk to them. Don't talk to me. My life is fine. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Girl, okay. I like my life. I don't know what anybody's talking about. It's bad. Girl, you better not ever do nothing, okay? I don't want to hear about you drinking no alcohol. I don't want to hear about you having no type of dependency on nothing. Do you hear me? Because we're going to talk to you here. We're going to talk to you about whatever your dependency, whatever you like to do, girl. We're going to talk to you about it, okay? Since you want to be judgy in the comments, like people life and shit. Gas and weed are two different things. Gas is stronger. Girl, I don't know what any of that means. Okay, I don't know what any of that means. I just feel like I think it's funny how people presume to know what I'm doing. Like you don't know my life. Don't get blocked. Okay, but anyway. So, girl, where my notes moved? This conversation at the end with Monique and Chris. Monique and Chris talk about how Arena and Jamie didn't impart any wisdom on them. Monique says maybe they have a lot that they've been through, so they don't want to really talk about it. Like, meaning they still got shit that they're dealing with, and there's a lot of shit that has happened, so they don't want to tell you how they got over it, because then that would be them having to tell y'all their business, and they don't want to do that. So, okay. But they're also talking about how Chris has this therapist named Terry that he's been seeing, and Terry felt like she needed Monique to come in so that she can try to get through to Chris. So the thing about people like Chris, and I understand because I'm also like Chris, whenever you are like highly successful, it is hard to hear when people criticize you, because you feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. So how can you criticize me? Because I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. But essentially, you can't think like that. You always have to be self-checking because nobody's perfect. So as much as you can have the greatest intentions to handle everything and do everything you can as a man for your family and what you feel like you should be doing, if your wife is telling you that she needs something or she needs more, then if you're not doing it for her, you have to understand the position that you're putting her in, right? So when Chris turns around and tells Monique that, you know, he's working towards getting himself together and he hopes that she will continue to be patient with him because it's worth it, I felt like, well, how entitled of you to tell her that it's worth it? How do you know it's worth it? How about we let her be the deciding factor in if it's worth it or not? Because at the end of the day, you think it's worth it because y'all got kids in this house and keeping that together is what's most important to you. But to her, she could feel like she can't breathe in this motherfucking marriage because you don't listen to her. She could feel like there's a knot in her throat every time y'all try to have a conversation and she can't get shit off her chest. She can't be heard. She can't be seen. And she has to suffer in silence because if she doesn't suffer in silence, it's going to upset the household. So that can a lot of times feel like a suffocating feeling for women. So at the end of the day, you can't tell me that me continuing to suffer in silence and be patient with you as you get your shit together, that it's worth it for me to do that, because that should be up for me to decide. So when he said that, I was just like, yeah, it's not clicking. It's not clicking what's happening here, which is why the therapist wasn't getting to him. Okay, because it's not clicking. He only understands it as it pertains to what he has to do. He doesn't understand how he has to think and feel. So, like in this conversation, I think Monique was trying to get him to understand in the moment how he was thinking and feeling when he decided that he wasn't going to do the list that Terry had told them to do because he felt like they weren't going to see Terry for a while. So because he wasn't going to see the therapist for a minute, he didn't need to do the homework that she had assigned him. So the homework in essence is for you and your wife, for y'all to make y'all relationship better. And when you don't want to do those things just because you're not going to therapy, it means that you're not doing it for the right reasons. And it means you don't really take it seriously, because if you took it seriously, you would handle it like you handle everything else, and you would take initiative and you would get it done, because that's what you do. You get shit done. So when somebody is giving you a task that is tied to creating some type of mental and emotional bridge between you and your wife, but that's something that's hard for you and something you feel like you really shouldn't have to do because of all of the other things you do, then you kind of low key don't value it the way she values it. And I think in the conversation, she was trying to get him to see that as much as you don't want to admit it, you weren't taking it seriously, which is why you still haven't made the list that the therapist told you to make, which is why you still aren't where you're supposed to be. And then you're telling me to be patient with you as you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And because I know you as my husband, I know that if you're not doing something that you're supposed to do, it's because you don't want to do it. Because anything you know you got to do, you're going to get done because that's you. So if you didn't do it, it's because you didn't see the importance in it. And you still don't see the importance in it. And so we're doing the thing we always do, where you tell me that you're going to work on yourself and that I need to be patient. And then I just sit here and continue to suffer in silence, waiting for you to do what I'm asking you for you to do, as you low key don't do it because you don't really feel like you have to. Like, once I saw it, I thought it was very clear what was going on in this situation. And then when he kept apologizing and saying, all right, you're right. That's very like condescending, y'all, because it's like, just shut up. I don't care about what you're saying. I don't care about what you're feeling. I don't care about trying to gain understanding. I just want you to shut up and leave me alone. So if telling you that you're right shuts you up, then that's what I'm going to do. You're right. Never mind. Don't worry about it. See what I'm saying? Yeah, hold on, I'm reading some of y'all comments. Let me see what y'all are saying. It has to be more to it than weed. I want to cry for little Jamie too, Bondy. I mean, Y'all ain't gotta listen to me because you know they have been at the same place since they were introduced on Real Housewives of Potomac. Exactly. So it's obviously the same issue. When I was pregnant, my doctor would encourage cannabis because I was not eating. So to prevent me and the baby from starving, I smoked, got high, ate, and the baby healthy in advance. Don't sleep on weed. Thank you, Zamaro. But girl, listen, don't even waste your breath with people who in 2022 are still like, you know, President Nixon or some shit. Like okay. I think Chris simply didn't know how to do it, but rather than say, babe, I really just don't know how, he would rather just say, never mind, you know. Yep, when men have a lot of money, they are that way. It's a mess. He kept interrupting her when she was talking. That is infuriating. Whenever somebody hits you and you hit you with you right back to back, it's shut up tactic. Yeah, it is. I actually didn't see it like that. To be honest, Monique was just putting on and harassing that man for a scene. Oh, wow, we live and learn. Yeah, no, that's not what was going on at all. I don't think she has to harass him for a scene. I think she was trying to get him to talk about the issues on camera because we've agreed to do a show. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's easy to assume that that's what was going on. But if you pay attention, they're having the same conversation that they've been having since she was on Real Housewives of Potomac. I totally get Monique as a wife. If they don't get to the bottom of why he seems emotionally unavailable, her resentment will start to manifest in other parts of their marriage. Girl, I actually don't think they are being reintroduced. They are who I got. I don't think they're being reintroduced either. I also feel like people didn't have the clearest view, but I feel like people don't want to view you clearly a lot of times. They just want to see you how they see you, and that's fine. Monty, I feel like I'm Chris and my husband is Monique. My husband used to complain about me being emotionally cold, so I understand. I mean, you know, like a lot of people don't see it until they look at themselves, which sometimes is why being on a reality show like this can be beneficial because then Chris can really see how he comes off in interactions. Because I think because you be thinking a certain way, you don't know how you're coming off and how your partner is receiving you. But because you and your partner love each other and y'all have this closeness, you think they should know what's going on up here. How y'all not see that baby crying out to his daddy? Girl, they say he was high, girl. That's all they saw. I can relate to Monique as a Libra. We are patient, but we are done when there's no reciprocation. Sure. Same with the let's agree to disagree. Same thing. The gowns are everything, though, aren't they? Though, girl, when I tell y'all, I love every single one of Monique's confessional looks. The locks are definitely her look. Child, we still addressing negative Nancy's. Girl, I don't know. We probably are. Boy, all these Monique haters, they trying to find a reason not to like her. I mean, if the only thing you can find is the issue she had with her husband, like, child, please. Like, people people have issues in their marriages. Monique, that doesn't make her a good or a bad guy to you. Not yet. It's episode 1. Monique has known Chris for 19 years and married for 10 years. She is already feeling resentment. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think she's trying to get out of that. Ashley in the Cardi B dress. Is that what that is? She look good, though. I love it. I love the aesthetic of this show. I think Chris minimalizes emotions because he sees his providing equating to emotional support. He does. And you know what? That's what I was saying. Like Chris compared to other men. And that's why I say like niggas got to start like money is not enough. Like you have to have integrity. You have to be supportive. You have to be compassionate to the person you're in a relationship with. It has to be more than just I have money and I can provide and protect. It needs to be more than I work and I can fuck up another nigga if he try to mess with you. It needs to be more than that because marriage requires more than that. And a lot of times, because we live in a patriarchal society where men have the upper hand, men often get validated in the way they feel. So even if they're wrong, it doesn't matter because society validates how they feel, which is that their money and Chris not being a piss poor example of a man like some men are. Child, let me go get the dogs because it's thundering. But it is definitely giving because I show up better than most men. I don't have to give more. That's what it's giving. And it's given, it doesn't matter what you think these other niggas are giving. I'm telling you as your wife what I need. And so if you're not going to give me what I need, then we're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Society creates that too. If a man has money, they really lift him up and make you feel like you need to as well. Yes. And they make you feel like you lucky because the nigga come home every night. That's another thing. Oh, no babies came to the door. Oh, thank you, nigga, for not having a baby on me. Like he wants to get patted on the back for not being as bad as everybody else. That sounds like Martell. I don't think he's that bad, girl. Not nearly. But they all have that same mindset of because I'm doing better than most of these grimy ass niggas, you need to let me get away with everything else. Okay? Listen, y'all, it's thundering. So I need to go get my dogs because Lyric is not home now. Do me a favor and like the video. And when we come back, I'm going to give y'all a quick little run through of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm going to do the calling. All right? And y'all know how we going to do this. We're going to do the calling. Y'all don't have all day to be giving me every thought in y'all mind. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, we're back. Okay. So, have y'all heard Kendrick? Yes, I heard some of it. The daddy issue, the father issue song was fire as fuck. Let's see. My husband does that. He feels like, because I could be doing bullshit. I'm not. You should be appreciative. It's like, what? Like, but the thing I don't like is I feel like if you would have turned it on his head and tell a man, well, you should be happy that I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? They won't take that, you know? But either way, y'all, let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville very quickly. Because y'all know I do a full review for my members, Patreons, the people that pay for my content. So if you are a Patreon member, it's on Patreon. Child. Hold up, y'all. Because they won't let me be great. They won't. Sorry, y'all. Been around the world and night. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So let's see. What were the main things from Love and Marriage Huntsville? Maurice. So I'm gonna just tell y'all what I think. I think what I told y'all from the beginning is that it is blame Mel for everybody's problems season. Blame Mel. It's all Mel's fault. It all goes back to Mel. It's Mel. It's Mel. It's not. Okay? So Mel is petty. Mel is definitely bringing people on the show and doing shit to get everybody else's tea spilled. And if y'all want to view that as misery loves company, you can. But we are on a motherfucking reality show. So when Kimmy doesn't want to invite Martell to Jalen's party because she can't trust that he's going to act accordingly, I want y'all to pay attention. Kimmy is usually the voice of reason, right? Kimmy was doing a lot of little things. You know, we talked about it on my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, that she was doing a lot of little shit that shows me she ain't exactly for Mel, but at the same time, she's not going to go along with lies about Mel. Okay? That's what she not going to do. So when we're talking about Martell versus Mel and they're acting like, oh, it's the same thing and it's all Mel, and if Melody isn't there, then Martell isn't going to argue with her. But isn't Martell the one that got all of the bullshit in your household stirred up, Maurice? Isn't he the one that co-signed that picture that Marceau put up there and said Ariane took a great picture, letting everybody know when Ariane got online and said that all of the side chicks were on that trip, validating what was being said? So as of recent, Martell has not only put it out there that y'all all had y'all side chicks on that trip with him and his side chick, okay? He's also said that Kimmy was a side chick. Y'all remember he was the one that said that. Kimmy had to fight that battle all up until last season in Vegas was the last time we heard about her being a side chick. Martell is the one that said that. Maurice, you sat up there and said it was all Mel. Is it really all Mel, or does Martell have dirt on y'all and he's volatile? So y'all are going to do whatever y'all need to do to make Martell happy, including trying to get him to be a part of scenes instead of Mel because he's holding something over your head. Maurice was trying so hard to get Martell at Jalen's get together instead of Melody because Melody is not filming with Martell. Everybody would rather be around Mel because they don't have to worry about Mel being volatile. Because as much as Mel may be petty and trying to ruin people's relationships, she's not volatile. She's not going to just blurt some shit out in front of everybody for no real reason. Martell has leverage on almost every man on this show, which is the reason why Maurice is trying. Marty's a good guy. Who the fuck is Marty, Maurice? When the hell have you ever called Martell Marty? Get the fuck out of here, Maurice. And Kimmy, we know what's going on, Kimmy. We see. Listen, other women may be mad at you, Kimmy, but you know you my girl, and I see it for what it is. Yeah, Maurice ain't shit. You know, listen, last year when it was put out there that all of the niggas was out there with their side chicks on the side chick trip, I think Marceau was in trouble and I think Maurice was in trouble. But you see the difference in how we handling things. Marceau is online cursing Tisha out and telling her to find another nigga if that's what she want to do. Maurice is bringing luggage into the room with trips to Miami and breakfast in bed. See, Kimmy feels like, yeah, he like y'all, but at the end of the day, this nigga gonna correct in his household. He gonna correct in his household. He gonna act a fool in front of them cameras and in front of these niggas. Oh yeah. But see, in here, this nigga gonna act accordingly. And so that's the reason why Kimmy is going to go along with the shit, because she want to stay with her husband because she love her husband. Okay? Like that's what it is. But that doesn't make him any different than Marceau and Martell, or Marty, as he would like to call him. Okay. Norris Tony, I'm gonna bring you on first, boo. So get ready. Have your thoughts collected, because y'all know I ain't gonna have y'all on here for too long. We got to get through it. So what else did I want to speak on? Destiny in that scene with Stormy. Y'all felt like Stormy inserted herself into a situation that she didn't have no parts of. I personally feel like no, she did not. She asked Destiny a question. What is the issue? What is the problem? Destiny was combative, didn't want to answer the question because she never really wants to tell us what her issue with Mel is. Because I think whatever her issue with Mel is, it sounds childish. It sounds like jealousy. It sounds stupid. So she doesn't want to actually say it out loud. So unless she can figure out some smart way to make it seem like, you know, her issue with Mel is really valid, she's not going to have anything real to say. So she gonna sit there mad with her arms crossed and shaking her leg with her attitude when you asking her genuinely, what is the fucking issue? She was already jealous because Mel came in there with Storm. So now Mel then came in there with your replacement in your mind. So you already got heat for Stormy, even though Stormy ain't really said shit to you the whole night. Destiny, they cut a lot of the scene up. Destiny, what she said, Destiny kicked her shoes off and Destiny threw a chair. We didn't see any of that, but that's what apparently happened, which is why everybody was telling her she needed to calm down. They edited the fuck out that scene. Tisha, Kimmy, all of them was telling Destiny she was doing too much. I told y'all that Destiny is childish and good at hiding her childishness because she has learned how to show people what they need to see. But she told us she grew up as an only child. So that means self-centered. So that means when I'm not getting my way, when people aren't responding the way I want them to, I get real petulant and childish. And I sit here with my arms crossed and I act like I'm trying to resolve an issue, but really I'm not. I'm just trying to make the person that I'm in opposition to out to be the bad guy. So everybody else can see they a bad guy and join up and be on my side. That's all she's doing. That's what her and Tisha are doing together, coming together so that they can make Mel out to be the bad guy. So there was conversation about Mel telling Tisha, your husband cheats on you every day and you don't care. That was fair game after Tisha said up out of her mouth at that high screeching level, your husband was cheating on you and you knew for 3 years and you still went and had a baby by him, insinuating that Mel was stupid for staying with him and having sugar mama. So I need for y'all to understand, coming from Tisha, that is rich. It is very rich that Tisha, whose husband is constantly low-key saying I'm cheating on you without saying I'm cheating on you in front of people. Okay, just last week on motherfucking Mother's Day, he was basically asked, was he cheating? And he was just kind of like, I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna answer. So that's your answer. So I need for y'all to understand that that's what's been happening between Mel and Tisha this whole time. When they were in the middle of that argument, and Tisha says that you were stupid for staying with Martell and having a baby by him after he was cheating on you for 3 years. That's what that lady said to her. And she turns around and said, and your nigga cheating on you now and you still there and you don't care. And y'all gonna act like Mel is fucked up for saying that. She trying to ruin my marriage. Mel in that scene broke it down for y'all verbatim what her issue has been. None of the people that have issue with her have been able to do the same. All that shit Tisha was talking, at the end of the day, Tisha, your mama put worse out there about your marriage and your husband than Mel did. And I know you can't be mad at your mom, but I also need for you to stop trying to make Mel out to be the bad guy in every scenario. Even with the Kiki shit, she was trying to make it seem like, oh, Mel was trying to get you to say this. And no. You and Kiki got y'all own fucking issues. And y'all probably was using the situation with Mel, okay, to act out the issues that y'all already have with each other. Okay, but y'all remember she kept trying to make it seem like Mel was lying about what was said. Remember, she was like, how you know Mel wasn't lying? And she was like, well, y'all weren't beefing at that time, so why would Mel be lying? And then Tisha admitted to what she said Mel could be lying about. So when I tell y'all that Tisha just doesn't like Mel, she's jealous, and it makes her feel better to make Mel be the bad guy. And I see Martell do it because he cheated on her, and it makes him feel better to make her seem like she's the bad guy because of how bad he has been. And then you get Destiny, who is a fucking energy suck. Okay, I'm sorry, Destiny, but it very much seemed like you were draining that lady of the little energy she had. Whether that was right or wrong, she got herself away from you. And if you felt like it was fucked up the way she decided to no longer be friends with you, that's fine. But then why are we still coming back having to have these conversations over again? We're on a reality show. Okay? All right. Come on, Norris, Tony, boo. What's going on?
Hey, Bondy.
How
I'm
you
gonna
doing?
try to be as quick as I can.
Go ahead, boo.
Hold up. I'm gonna put a ring on it. Uh, I think that Fonzo is a knockoff Rick Ross with less money, and Charlena is, she's sleeping with the enemy, and she also with a man who is like a zombie slash robot with no emotional feelings. And then Shorty, she with a lunatic. He's a nutcase. He's a sociopath, and he needs to be on America's Most Wanted. Not only that, but he needs to be locked up behind bars for looking up her personal information behind her back and taking pictures. And then on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I'm team Melanie and Stormy because Destiny and Letitia was doing too much to me. Instead of being like mature and having a conversation and answering the questions, they was just on that rah-rah behavior from start. So, and then Maurice, the least relevant Scott brother on the show, called himself talking about Melanie and throwing her up under the bus. I'm like, he's a bad liar. He couldn't even get his lies straight when it came to being on that
On the trip, right?
Yeah, and he was in that picture, and he gonna lie about not being in that picture. And I'm like,
with his hat to the back, not with his hat to the back. That was a teller.
he stood out the most with his mellow yellow looking self. And then Wanda, I think that Wanda is too involved in Letitia's marriage. She is. I feel like Monceau, he not gonna be honest with you. If he not gonna be honest with Tisha, he not gonna tell you the truth. He looking at you like a joke. Because Wanda, you are a joke. You say ignorant stuff online, and then you sit up there and you baby Tisha. You need to let Tisha be her own woman and handle her husband her way. If she ever gonna leave Marceau, it's gonna be on her terms, not yours. And
exactly.
then Tiffany, she being so messy, in my opinion, by telling Martell about Melanie and her behavior. I feel like if you her friend, why are you talking about her behind her back to her ex-husband who she not filming with? And I feel like, why was you even there anyway with Lewis and Martell? That should have been between them.
Because Lewis wasn't going to do all that talking, and he wasn't at the Galentine's event. I think because Martell and Mel aren't filming, they're still trying to antagonize the situation a bit. So Martell has to film with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And him and Lewis can't have too many more conversations where Lewis just be like, yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. Because that's usually how their conversations go. So I think that he has to film. And because Mel won't film with him, and as much as Marceau and Maurice act like they trying to have his back and they cool with him, they don't really like filming with his ass neither. So everybody is trying to do Martell a solid when they film with him.
Yeah, I could roast him, but you know what? That's for another video. But yeah, I got your gifts in the mail. I'm gonna send them off next week.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll be on the lookout.
Yeah, one of them is this auto registration and insurance holder. It's a 2-pack, 2 in a pack. I got one for you and your husband.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so when you see them, you'll know it's 2 in a pack.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't want to waste no more of your time. I just thought
I appreciate you, Norris. Thank you for coming on, love.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for taking my call, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You do the same, love.
You keep shining bright like the diamond that you are.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Okay, faith is the substance. I see you. Are you ready? Let's go.
Yes, salutations, cutie pie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for letting me up. It's my first time, but I follow you all the time as well as the Ooh Ladies First panel. So thank you for letting me on. I just want to briefly say that I know that you are friends with Mel, but Mel is not innocent at all. I just want to put that out there, that everyone has a part to play in this situation. I'm talking about the Galantine event, as well as how everything transpired. No one is the victim in all of this. Everyone has their part to play in this situation, including Mel. Now, is she the source? Is she the common denominator of all this? I don't believe she is. No, of course not. But I just feel like, I think that as adults, I think there just needs to be some level of accountability in order for any party to move forward in this situation. And if it includes friendships drifting off, or if it includes people no longer being a part of your journey any longer, then that's okay too. Doesn't make the person a bad person. It doesn't mean that you hate the person at all. It's just sometimes you reach the end of the road, and people are in your life for a reason and for a season. So I just feel like when it comes to Melody and Tisha, it's unfortunate, because I think that when Melody was trying to explain the reason as to why their friendship took a turn, wires got crossed. And that's why Tisha responded the way she did, because it goes back to that misplaced anger that Mel was describing when she responded about having a baby, even though she knew Martell was cheating on her. And the thing is, she wasn't coming at Sugar Mama directly. A lot of people was having that perception. She was just using a reference as to, well, you knew your husband cheated all along and you still was pregnant with him, but yet you want to come down on me for being willing to stick it out in my marriage. And I want to go back into that a little bit further, because a lot of people are labeling Tisha as being dumb, stupid, naive, all these things, these negative connotations, which I don't think is entirely fair, because it's like, what is she supposed to do? She is honoring her vows. She's trying to sustain her marriage. And again, she's like, where's the proof? And there hasn't been substantial proof of Marceau cheating, even though Marceau's not making it any better now. I'm not, don't get it twisted. I am aware of the fact that Marceau is not making it any better. He's not being open with his wife, and that's the person he really needs to be honest with. He doesn't owe Wanda or anybody else anything. He doesn't owe us, the public, anything. But his wife, he needs to be very open and honest about what's really going on, because when they had that scene at the end when she called him from the car, you could see the look on her face. She looks so drained. She looks so tired. She looks so just emotionally detached, just all kind of overwhelming emotions just was kind of like hovering over her. And I just feel like she's tired of all the speculation and all the stigmas that's around it, because I don't think she's as dumb as people make her out to be. She couldn't have gone as far as she did educational wise or business wise if she was stupid. But I think that people feel like she lacks street smarts or she lacks common sense. But I just feel like Tisha is a person that she wants it. She needs that visual. She needs that hardcore evidence. And I don't blame her, because why would she make a rash decision to end her marriage or to uproot her children? There's a lot that is involved in this whole thing.
I don't think anybody's asking her to do that. I think people are asking her to be honest, and I think that's the part that everybody keeps missing with her and Mel. As you said, their wires could have gotten crossed. That's fine. But we constantly go back to negating the fact that at the very beginning of all of this, Tisha threw in Mel's face that Martell had bought that girl BMW and all of that shit, right? So that's what my point is. Tisha is the one that drew that comparison. And when Mel said, but your husband is out here doing this, this, and that, and Tisha continues to say, my husband has never, my husband would never. And all of these things are happening where your husband is not even saying that he would never or he didn't. So I think people want Tisha to just keep it a buck and stop putting her frustrations and her anger out on Mel or on Kimmy, or whoever, when really how you feel should be towards your mom and towards Marceau. So I think it's not even about leaving him or uprooting the family, but you can't tell Mel that she was dumb for staying with Martell and trying to work it out while simultaneously expecting people to understand the position of, I don't want to uproot my life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. And and that is true. I agree with that. And I think that, Tisha is unreasonable in that aspect. And because it also goes down to the fact that why is she so hell-bent on putting the weight of her marriage or putting the weight of her situation on Mel's shoulders? Like, because Mel doesn't owe her anything either. I don't understand why she's getting her so much involved in this or making it seem like she is the root of it all. And it's like, that's not fair either. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
You know.
And listen, I've never said that Mel is innocent. I've just always said the moments when she responds petty, I see why and I see how we got there. And also I don't think that Tisha is stupid. I think Tisha is one of the women that got trapped by a man. And like I really do feel like that. I feel like Marceau came with his Delilah energy and trapped her and got her pregnant and made her sat her ass down and then used all of her intelligence to help him bolster his career and get where he wanted to be. And now she's over there suffering in silence. And I feel like she did look up to Mel. And I think Wanda, and that's why I say when I tell y'all that I feel like Tisha's jealous of Mel, I feel like it's because of the way Wanda has raised Tisha to view herself in respect to other women. Like, y'all can see how ignorant Wanda is. Like, Tisha just knows how to like act like I'm not as bad as my mom, but she has some of those same.
She does.
Competitive and you know those same traits. You know, for instance, if she were on here not asking those questions of her husband, nobody would really feel away. But whenever people are asking questions of Marceau, she turns around and asks those same questions to him, and he still don't give her a fucking answer.
Right, exactly.
So
and that's the
a
problem.
lot of us, right. And I think a lot of us are responding to what goes on between Tisha and Marceau without all of this other shit. They try to make it seem like it's about the show. Or Mel tried to no. Everybody's perception of Tisha and Marceau's relationship is from what we have seen.
What we've seen
from Tisha and Marceau. Like, come on. Y'all know we didn't really think he was cheating, but the longer we have gotten to know them and the more we've seen the way he treats her, that is what makes us think he's cheating.
Right. And I think that the cheating allegation should not be the only reason why she needs to keep her eyes open, because like you mentioned about the their history and the background and how Marceau was able to mold her. I just feel like he still does not value her the way he should. And I think that should be explored as well.
Exactly. And I think that's the bigger issue I think a lot of us have with Tisha. I think it would be easier for us to not take the beef with Tisha and Mel so seriously if it didn't seem like the men were adding fuel to it to protect their own.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. And I just wish they were able to see how much of a divide that they're causing. You know, I don't think they really realize that, because we as women, we're so accustomed to being so catty towards each other that we don't see the bigger picture.
Exactly.
You know, we do not see it at all. And I just, it's disheartening for me, because these are some beautiful, intelligent, successful Black women, and I feel like the united front needs to be there. But I mean, even if not with them, but just have more of an inspiration towards other people that they see them on a regular basis. And I mean, I'm not saying they have to be perfect, because no one is going to get along. No one is going to get along. But I just feel like it's so unfortunate that they don't understand the root of the division. You know,
right?
But they trying to conquer each other, but they don't realize what the root of it is.
Yeah, childish thunder. But thank you so much, Faith, for calling in. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
You have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, ran with Ricardo. Boo, you ready?
Hello.
Hello.
You look good. I like the earrings. Where you get them from?
Thank you. Oh, she inside. Y'all know my drug choice. She inside.
Not drug choice. Okay. First thing with what's that show? Put a ring on it. What's that girl named? Shorty. Her. She needs to tell her freeloader, that squatter that is living in her home, that stalker, that the least you can do when you don't have a job and you're not paying no bills and you're not doing nothing else but staying in somebody's house for free is to cook, clean, have a drink ready for her when she get home, have the bubble bath ready with the good smelling soaps and bath salts. That's the least you can do, because you are a squatter. You are not on the lease. You don't have a home, sir. If she was to call the police on you right now, you could be escorted out of there. That's what she need to do. He's a freeloader.
He is.
I wish I would have a grown man living with me who don't pay bills.
I keep saying, if it's so, because they keep saying Shorty so bad, nigga, leave. Leave.
Man. I forgot what. How I Met Your Mother. Get a job, deadbeat. Get a job, deadbeat. Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Y'all have this. Mel is the enemy. Mel is the root of all evil. If Mel was to leave the show after the 4th season, there would be no 5th season because none of y'all want to share anything about y'all lives. Y'all want to make Mel the bad guy, and she's the glue that holds all y'all together. She the one who created the show. I think she got a producer credit.
Her and Martell have executive producer credit on the show.
And that was a little gift because we know he not executive producing nothing. But Mel
Not a little gift.
Yeah, it was a little gift. But Mel told y'all, even if y'all didn't get it at the time at that reunion, she was telling y'all, I'm taking a step back. I need to be able to be in my peace. I need to be able to be one with myself and take care of my kids and my business. She told y'all, if you couldn't read between the lines, it's now time for y'all to start paying y'all dues. Y'all now have to share more than what y'all was sharing before. Because I'm sick of being everybody's storyline. And y'all keep making her y'all storyline. Tisha, nobody's ruining your marriage but your husband and your mother. They are your ops. Your mother is in your business. And that was proven the way she was talking on Scotty's interview. Your mother is your op. Really, she's hoping that man's not cheating on you because she wants you to stay with him forever because that's the only way she ever gonna get some money. Unless you just tricking off money to your mama here and there. Miss Wanda, you can't
probably sending money to Wanda the store for safekeeping.
If people were like, oh, it's not the fact that Tisha's not smart. She's smart. She's book smart. She's not street smart. Because if you were street smart, you would have been putting money aside long time ago in an account that he could not trace, he could not get into. Your mother is your op. Your husband is your op. Because I watched that live where he was like, I'm not into big girls. But he wouldn't confirm that he's cheating. And him saying, oh, well, if I was cheating, nobody would ever know because they wouldn't have no receipts. Some young girl out there probably has receipts on you now and is starting to get fed up with the fact that you don't spend enough time with her. And that
he won't do that though. I'm gonna tell you what it is. We talked about this in the live earlier. Marceau never shows attention to Tisha. He never says he loves Tisha on camera. He never does anything that would make the side chick feel away. Right. So that's the reason why he don't have to worry about his main spraying him, because he's always making sure that she probably feels that she's the most important and tells her that Tisha is the business. And if we want the money to keep going the way it's going and for everything to stay legit, what the business is, then we need to remain quiet about what the fuck is going on. But to me, as a man, for you to say, and never in all of these 4 seasons, Marceau has never said to Wanda or anybody else, come on, bro.
I'm not cheating on that lady.
Never once.
That part. He can never say, he cannot say out of his mouth. And I can say it, I'm not cheating on Tisha. He can never say that, which to me means, oh yeah, you got somebody who is like, okay, I'm gonna go along with it, and I see you not being all lovey-dovey hugging up on this hoe. I get it. But you also probably have another one who's very young-minded, who don't care no more and is starting to get fed up, even if he's not loving on Tisha. She's starting to get fed up. So sooner rather than later, your stuff gonna get sprayed and it just be like, well, we all knew this. Maurice, you got to be the dumbest. Ooh, I want to jump through the screen and smack him like I wanted to jump through the screen and smack Madeline on the ultimatum. How are you gonna blame Mel for all this when the person who is the root of all evil in your marriage at this point is Martell, aka Marty? Who the hell is Marty? He is the root of all evil. He is treating y'all like the hoes and he's the pimp. He has dirt on all of y'all and y'all trying to make it seem like Mel's the bad guy. Mel don't even film with y'all. And I love the fact that Kimmy was like, I'ma stay in here because obviously he know how to handle business. Like, at least somewhat. Like, you know who run this house. I do. I want to go on trips. You better pack these bags. I want breakfast in bed. You better be down there cooking. Like, you are the lover and the secretary working every day of the week. And that's what you're going to stay if you want to stay with me. Tiffany, like, I get it, you're trying to be the charade, the bone carrier, but I want you to pay attention at the fact that the way Martell sent out the invite, talking about you can come, pointing at Lewis, he don't want y'all coming because it is a side chicks 2.0 trip, and he is trying to get Lewis caught up.
I like how, and Tiffany next week, she gonna be like, I think we should make it a girls trip. and we gonna go out there too. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's what Tiffany said. I'm here for it because I'm like, Martell is really like Kevin Samuels, like sipping the Kool-Aid hard as fuck. You could tell because why were you being mean to Tiffany? That was mean to me when he did that. You know what I'm saying? Because he did it like this to almost, pretend as if he was going to invite her as if she gave a fuck about going.
He don't like women.
He don't.
He doesn't, and it's evident. And Blow Pop. Oh, little baby Blow Pop. And you know who I'm talking about. Blow Pop. Girl, they called you aggressive because you was throwing chairs, kicking off your shoes, ready to fight because somebody said, you want to be like me, don't you? And I'm like, Stormy, I kind of want to be like you too. Tell me how
just a little bit.
Tell me how you did it.
I would love to learn your ways. Like,
tell me how you did it. Because I want to, what was it, a G-Wagon?
Girl, the gold G-Wagon.
I want one of those too. I mean, I want it in Tiffany blue just so I could be
understand. Who don't want to understand Stormy? You know what I'm saying? Like, girl,
you needed Mel. No, you needed Mel to be that person for you. But when it came down to you being that person for her, you couldn't be there. You are a pick-me and a child, and that's not a good combination because you're friends with Martell, even though he has said to your face, that mouth that you have on you, that's the reason you're divorced. You wouldn't be friends with me after that. Don't tell me the reason that I'm divorced is because I'm going to speak my mind.
Especially after everything LeBaric put Destiny through, for him to reduce their divorce down to her mouth, and she gonna sit up there in front of us on the Ooh Ladies first panel and act like he is not just as disrespectful as LeBaric. I was just like, all right, girl.
Bondi, you saw the comments in the Discord as after or during that interview, and I said, is anybody else confused? Because my head is hurting. Why is she giving me the runaround? Like, just tell me what it is, lady. Or at least tell me what it is so I can read between the lines. She couldn't even do that. You are jealous of Mel. You always have, because always will be, because obviously you and Martell are doing the Mel special where you are creating skincare lines. One is trying to sing, the other one ain't got a builder's license. And I told my auntie that the book was open, like the test was open book. And she was like, well, he's stupid and lazy. My auntie doesn't even watch the show.
We know he lazy because he said, why would I go and do the test when I can just rely on y'all? When he told that to Fred last week.
Again, he treat these people like he the pimp and they the hoes and they just supposed to do what he says. And that's not how this works. But that was about it. Because Blow Pop, I got a feeling that she gonna make me mad next week.
Girl, always and forever in her victim role of, it's everybody but me. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.
You got it.
All right. Oh, come on, boo. I'm about to click on you anyway. Come on. You muted.
Girl, because listen, I want all these women in the chat, and I'm just being honest. So be real. Ain't nobody sitting up here saying Mel is innocent. But tell me, what bitch you gonna know your husband knew your husband was cheating on you and y'all gonna be able to remain friends? I can't sit in your face. Let's not.
I can't trust you.
Exactly. So yeah, is Mel petty? Absolutely. I'm equal opportunity. They all can get dragged in my book. Because I'm not making a check from Carlos King. And I don't owe none of them loyalty because I don't know them hoes. They ain't my friends. Okay? So ain't nobody gonna sit up here and act like Mel innocent. Is Mel petty? Yes. Listen, I would be petty to Tisha every time I see Tisha and you knew my husband was cheating on me.
The wifey t-shirt when
you know what I'm saying? She walked in there with that shirt. She knew what that shirt was, but shout out to her because you thought you was doing something and what you did was actually put more money in Mel pockets because people was on the website ordering them, dummy. I'm not trying to put no money in my enemy pocket. I'm not trying to do that. Like, y'all, I'm mad because she's saying she's an op. Let me tell you something. If you know my man cheating on me and we supposed to be friends and you don't say nothing to me, you are an op. That's it. That's all. That's what you are. Now, if that lady want to back away, I would have backed away from that whole group. I wouldn't have been able to continue to be on the group and everybody smiled in my face and knew I was getting dogged over before I knew. Did Melody know at some point? Yes. But all y'all knew before she knew, and I could not smile in y'all face while y'all helped him go do what he needed to do to mess over me. And that's the reality of it. Like, everybody want to act like Mel is just so wrong for being petty, but in a real life situation,
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? If in a real life situation,
because I know you got it. Respond
in
to
a real life situation, when none of us fool with these people, we will walk the fuck away from them. What that say? But what? That's the case. Mel knew Marcel was cheating on Tisha. If Tisha knew, Mel knew. Martell gossips way more than Marcel. Listen, let me tell you, both of them niggas was pillow talking. Both of them niggas was pillow talking. So with that statement that you made, that we gonna act like Mel didn't try to tell Tisha in a roundabout way. See, let me tell you, when you got a saved face like that with your husband, so your husband don't know, you said in a roundabout way, girl, i.e., girl, go right around that boy and see what your husband doing. We gonna act like Mel ain't tell her, man, listen, I done tried to tell you what your husband was doing, and you don't believe me? Like, I understand,
you know what the
y'all
word
don't like
was,
Mel.
is that Mel investigated, and that's how she found out about both of them.
Exactly. I understand y'all don't like Mel, but I know everybody on this chat was in school at the good time of school where they taught you context clues and how to read them. So at this point, it's just, I hate Mel, so we're gonna make Mel wrong about everything. And that's fine if you hate her. You don't have to like her. You don't have to like Tisha. But let's not sit up here and act like they both innocent. And yeah, she did try to tell her. And we saw her say, when I tried to tell you, you ain't believe me. So why I'm going to keep trying to tell you something, Red Rover? I'm not about to keep trying to beat the truth up in your head. I feel so much better if Tisha just come out and say, listen, I love my cheating ass husband. Leave me the hell alone. I'm letting them cheat in peace, so y'all let them cheat in peace. It's a lot of women who do it. It's a lot of women
and if
who
she would say that, we would be fine. And honestly, not even if she wasn't admitting that he was cheating, but if she just stayed quiet about Mel's situation, it was just like, girl, I ain't gonna say nothing because they ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna just be over here. But that's not what she did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what she did. But at the end of the day, for me, it is what it is. Like, in real life situations, that's all I'm saying. Real life situation, nobody's about to be friends and inviting you to my house, invite you to my party, and you sat up there and knew my husband was cheating. And everybody talking about Mel is wrong for that. Let me tell you something. I would have cussed Tisha the hell out about telling me about, and I stayed and I had my baby. And so what? You know what I'm saying? I did. I had my baby. And I love my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it like her being here is a mistake of me being stupid. She here because she was meant to be here. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they both was trading insults. So why are we gonna sit up here and act like it's not fair game? Like, they're supposed to be able to gang up on Mel. They're supposed to blame her for all the shit, because to me, she get all the smoke for everything that Martell said. Martell said about the 20 girlfriends. Martell said about the 20 girlfriends. Martell the one called Kimmy the side chick. But everybody got all the smoke from Mel. She's still dealing with the fallout of the things that her husband said, well, now ex-husband, has said.
Right.
But them women can't go at Martell because their husband's telling them leave Martell alone because Martell know all of their business.
Exactly.
So they want to bring it out on Mel, which, all right, cool. But at the end of the day, y'all not gonna sit up here and tell me y'all don't realize that all of these people done got together before the season even started and say, all right, we're gonna make Mel the villain. And
that's what it feel like to me.
And
that's
when
what it feel
Mel
like
told
to me.
Tisha last night to kiss her ass, I was happy. Tell all of them to kiss your ass.
Yes.
We're not gonna sit up here and act like for the past how many seasons Mel and Martell wasn't the storyline that got everybody a check. Tisha, your husband was like, don't forget about the Scots, we this, we that. Well, guess what? Now the chickens have come home to roost. It's y'all time to be talked about. That's what reality TV is. If you don't want to be talked about, if you don't want nobody to say nothing,
get your ass off the show.
Get your ass off the show. Because everybody talking about that picture your husband posted. So if you want to be mad that people are talking about it on the show where y'all getting paid to talk about what the hell y'all do, and that goes for Mel too, get off the show. But you should be mad at your husband because he should have never posted it. You should be mad that your husband walk around here with his dentures at the top. Okay, nobody tell me that's not dentures. Look at
they are. His gums give. These are not my real teeth.
You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody tell me that ain't dentures in his mouth. I finally seen the teeth for the first time yesterday because I was like, do he even have damn teeth at the top of his mouth? But be mad at your husband. Like, y'all getting mad at Mel for what y'all husbands did. Have the smoke for y'all husband. If you don't want to leave like Mel didn't leave, then don't leave. I can't tell nobody to leave their husband. That's your husband.
Okay.
Do what you want to do with it, but be mad with who you need to be mad with. I ain't saying she shouldn't get back at Mel, because Mel be petty. And if you be petty with me, I'm going to be petty with your ass back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but have that same energy, the same way your husband disrespect you. He made a whole video after y'all Mother's Day video about how y'all went to the Indy 500 or whatever the hell it was, the Formula 51, Area 1, wherever, because that was his dream and what he wanted to do. So even on Mother's Day, a day that's supposed to celebrate you, you still had to damn cater to what the hell he wanted to do.
Okay.
And even on that day and in that moment, he still took the time on a day that you are supposed to be honored.
And it wasn't about you.
And further play into your insecurities about your marriage.
Yes, but wouldn't answer a question to go ahead, go find another man.
But she keep playing with Mel. Mel said on Carlos' show last night that her daddy be in her inbox. See, I'm a rude bitch. I be the made myself her stepmama just because.
Girl, not Tisha daddy being Mel inbox. Girl, I need to go watch that shit.
Girl, that's what Mel said. Carlos asked her about the older man, Wanda baby daddy being in her inbox. And she said, yeah. And she said, Carlos said, how old is that man? She said, I don't know, ask Tisha, it's her daddy.
Oh Lord. Girl, I need to go watch that.
You know what I'm saying? So I think at this point, Mel has tried to, even though she be slick petty, she's tried to take the high road and not drop some receipts. But I think at this point, the way she's talking on her lives, I think she's sick of them. I think she's over it. I don't think she's gonna come back next season. If she come back next season, it's gonna be in a very limited capacity.
I think so too. I mean, I feel like you can already tell she don't really want to be there.
You know what I'm saying? She don't want to be around. She don't want to be around none of them. And as far as Martell talking about a man running his house, baby, you don't even have the license to build a house. So what house you gonna be running?
Child, when he said that,
you know what I'm saying? Like
a man should run his house. Oh, you mean like you? Oh, you mean like you who once your household was broken apart, you was out there living destitute because you ain't have shit. But your wife and her kids was okay. That looked like the family that's okay to me. Like, why would you be in charge if once you're out of it, it's crumbled? Like, you have crumbled. She has remained. So she's the one that should be in charge because you were in charge.
We clearly see that everything was belonging to her.
And you know what killed me? Is that I feel like everybody gives Martell a pass. Like, think about it. Martell is fucking terrible. And he has been terrible not only to Mel, but to everybody in one way or another on the show. And they still are in these comments and on the show talking about Mel is the bad guy. Mel is worse. And it's like,
girl, first of all, baby, see the way he gave that invitation? I would have told him if I was Tiffany, I don't care who you inviting. My husband not going nowhere with you. Nope, not happening. Hoes of a feather flock together. Nope, not happening. What we gonna see Lewis telling them women somebody if they open the bottle or whatever? We gonna see what he gonna be talking about. But y'all know, ma'am, my husband would not. You're not going nowhere with Martell. Hell no. Hell no.
It'd have been like, all right, don't get homeboy fucked up.
So it would have been you can go. Make sure you bring all your shit with you. Because you don't have a house to return to. Like, no, we're not doing that. No. I wouldn't let my husband go to the mailbox with Martell. But Martell only want to involve him because, one, this a cash trip, and two, he probably need some dirt on him so he can sucker him into doing whatever it is that he want him to do.
And you know this.
And I don't feel sorry for Martell. Martell has an attitude and want to say Mel want yes men and this, that, and the third and all of that. He constantly wants to find a way to drag that lady because you mad because she had the audacity to leave you, not put up with your bullshit and cut your cheating budget. Like, why was she supposed to stay with him and accept the fact that all the money she was bringing in the house was going to now have to be contributed to a child?
Ariane absolutely said that Martell paid bills and took care of her.
You know what I'm saying? So you took money. No, I'm not about to continue to do this. And I think that baby probably is what pushed her. Well, I don't know. She probably got sick of his shit.
I'm gonna tell you what I think it was, because I saw it happening during the season. I think she tried to stay because of the baby. She had the baby and the pandemic happened and Martell could not he couldn't be an asshole. So basically, once the rabbit was out the hat, it's like he couldn't put it back in. So I believe his attitude and the things that he was saying, because this nigga was probably watching Kevin Samuels and having conversations with other ignorant niggas, he was saying shit to her that made her feel like he's not changing, he's getting worse. And so I think she had decided, just based off their interactions, that she didn't want to be there anymore. And then the baby thing came out, and that just solidified. Because I feel like she had already moved out, or was about to move out right when that story broke about the baby. It was already out that she was out when the baby thing came out. And we just assumed that they knew ahead of time, and that was the reason why. But I think she had already said, yeah, no, he was. And remember, we had saw scenes.
Yeah,
where
and she was moving because he tried to block her in. Didn't she have to like call the police or something when she was trying to go get her stuff from the house? He was trying to block
he put
her
all
in.
her stuff in
But
a
we
car.
gonna act like he wasn't abusive and a narcissist. Like, we could say Mel is a narcissist all you want, but he was definitely abusive. Mentally and emotionally abusive. I'm not gonna go out there and say he physically abused her, because that would be alleged.
Right. No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that, but mentally and emotionally, he was definitely abusive. And on top of you cheating on me, on top of I'm working my ass off to make this go round, clearly, because he don't have shit going on, a pot to piston and a window to throw it out of, apparently, on his own without her. He probably have whatever they split. You know what I'm saying? Because they were married. So he probably have that, but all the businesses and everything went with her. Whatever businesses he had left, apparently people don't want to do business with him because his name is trash in the streets, in the business world. We can't hang with you because, one, you pillow talk too much. Two, you can't keep your bitch under control. Like, don't nobody want to do business with nothing like that. Like, yes, those words come out of Ariane's mouth, but we know Ariane because of who? Because of you, and clearly she's not the mistress that you can keep in check or keep under control. You might tell her, hey, get off. You might tell her, get off alive today or tomorrow, and she might get off for 2-3 days, maybe a week, but she be back. Because
I'm not gonna be on here no more. And then the next day, I know I said I wasn't gonna be on here no more. Like, girl, you ain't got shit to do. That's why you here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why she mad at YouTubers for capitalizing off of her name. She need to capitalize off her own name.
Like, bitch, you the one that was lazy and didn't do it. You the one that was lazy and tell dumbass and didn't go and make your own YouTube and speak on that shit yourself. You could have been up here every night when that show was over, telling them your standpoint and your position. You could have did that. Nobody was stopping you. You like, ain't no contract.
You shouldn't have went on Tasha K. You should have went on your own channel. That's number one. Number two, I done gave her 2 shirt ideas. I told her, baby, they calling you coleslaw. I would have went and said, what's dinner without coleslaw? Everybody know the sides always make the dish. Something.
Okay.
It's side chicks out there that would have bought the shirt. Cause Lord knows,
they buying all her little they buying all her AliExpress clothes. So you know they would have bought that.
You didn't capitalize off your own, and that's you. You dumb. You dumb. You keep going on Instagram, girl. I hope Instagram paying her if she got enough followers. But why don't you bring?
Just started, but they so finicky. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You should have came on over here. You got your page. People already following it because they want to know what you got to say because they waiting on you. Okay? They waiting on you to spill the tea that you got on everybody else.
And you
already got thousands of subscribers already. Anytime you want to open your mouth, I be opening up my mouth to the YouTube. Even if you just sitting at my edges. Some of y'all say they bad. Oh, what you said? Why? Like, I'm the baddest mistress around. Yes, I'm the baddest mistress.
You gotta be. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but how stupid do you have to be to get on Instagram when you not getting paid for that shit and not get your ass on YouTube and get paid? Why? Just think about the mentality.
Did you say how stupid I have to be? You're blocked. You're blocked. Next person, please. Who else want to be blocked? My block game is official.
Stupid, making no money. I can away, but you ain't making no money.
You ought to be trying to make money because I know they're not living the way they was living before because Martell don't have the access to the money that he had before. And that's why
he's dissolved all of the businesses. We're gonna dissolve all the business, split them down half. You can go ahead and go. Did I tell you something? That lady wanted to get rid of that nigga so bad. She didn't ask for nothing. When you say I don't ask for nothing but my name, and then eventually gave that shit back too. Here, take this shit too. Like,
I want to be attached.
Girl, it's tired. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you for coming on, love.
No problem, girl. You know I love you. See y'all later. But I just want people to be real and stop acting like they'll still be friends and fucking with Tisha. And that was the situation, or any of them.
Girl, you know what it is. A lot of people just be mad because they want to be like Mel, and because they can't be like Mel, they're gonna be the anti-Mel, like Destiny. All right.
All right, girl. Love y'all.
All right, Lulu, you gonna be my last person, boo. You ready? All right. Hello. Hi,
Bondi.
How are you?
I just want to say thank you for reviewing. I don't even watch the shows. I literally just watch you all the time. So thank you so much for reviewing your stuff, because I wouldn't know nothing else going on. But I just want to say, I was watching some old episodes, and Tisha always says that Melanie is the reason why, the rumors started about her marriage and everything, and how she tried to destroy her marriage and shit and stuff. So when I was watching the old episodes, I'm like, why is it every time something is mentioned about Marceau, like the ring, he's not wearing it, he's hanging out in strip clubs, she gets so insecure. Before Mel even said anything to her, before Mel even brought this up, this is how she was. Anytime somebody said anything, but Mel is the one, who's trying to destroy me. I feel like it's already been there. Like when I watched the interview with Scotty by Nature, Wanda already said, I believe he cheated in the beginning. Now she doesn't believe it. So who was saying all this in the beginning? Now, who was saying all this in the beginning? Okay. And I feel like Destiny, I think she just blew the issue she had with Mel out of proportion. Like, if Mel was mad at you for talking to somebody that she didn't like, that's a, let's just take a break. Instead, you keep going back to people she don't mess with and still talking about it. Like I don't know. To you?
Like how going to Martell after to then Martell is using what she's saying against Mel even more, and it's like how is she supposed to be cool and y'all are making her out that she's a bad friend and only when it's a yes man, and it's like Stormy's a millionaire. Do you really think that Stormy is a yes man? She's a million. Like nobody.
That's disrespectful to Destiny because you're allowing them to say that you're easily manipulated. So
right. So basically, he's saying that back when y'all was friends, you was being manipulated, and now you're not being manipulated no more. So you stupid. Oh, okay.
Right. Like it don't make no sense. Y'all calling them weak. Basically, you're calling them weak because they're allowing Mel to manipulate them. How you don't know these people just feel the same way Mel feel in this moment because they're friends with her. But then when they have an issue with her, it's like, oh, well, I see the other people's side. Now I don't see your side no more. People can be finicky like that. Like, if we cool, I understand everything you going through. We not cool, I don't give it, I don't care. It don't matter to me. Basically. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. But I really feel like a lot of people are blaming, like you said, blaming Mel for what Martell started. Like, Mel has her own pettiness. Okay, yes. Sometimes she accountable for it, sometimes she's not. Everybody on the show is like that. But y'all blame the stuff that Martell does on her. She didn't come up there and tell Marceau that, you got 20 girlfriends too. Like
she wasn't even in that scene. She wasn't even in that scene.
And y'all still bring that up to this day, but then you'll turn around and say Mel's the one who's trying to destroy my marriage. Why isn't it Martell?
And y'all still cool with and then Tisha and Kimmy are the only two that are like, no, we don't really want to be around Martell because we still see that he's a problem. But the men are gonna sit up here and act like, no, it's all Mel.
No, I think more so now they're seeing that he's a problem because earlier when Mel was like, you can't control your mistress for disrespecting me. Now she's disrespecting everybody. You can't control her at all. Now they see like, oh, it's not just a problem with Melanie, it's a problem with all us, because at the end of the day, if your mistress don't like us and she's talking about us, how can we be friends?
He's still with her. That's his baby mom. So he's still going over there. He's still going on dates. They still going out together. They might be mad right now. Because you know what I think? I think she was mad because she was like, well, you and Mel aren't together anymore. And I have your baby. So why aren't we going to be together by your mama house for Mother's Day? And he was like, because they still not going to accept you because they still view you as the side chick. That's why, even though they don't like Mel, they still don't respect her.
She doesn't even understand. Martell he ain't no good for nobody. He gonna do you the same way he did Mel. He don't got no respect for any female. Like, it don't even really look like he got too much respect for what his mom even said. So you got to take those things into consideration. Like, he did his own wife like this. You only got one baby from him, and you've been a secret for half that time. So what did you really think he was going to give you? What did you really think he was going to do for you that he hadn't already done?
She
He kept
really
you
was.
a secret.
She was, you know, like a lot of young girls are. They really think that they can snatch a man's soul. You know, remember she was talking all that shit about, oh, you know, we're pretty girls and, you know, they just love us. Girl, you young and you're pretty and you're fine. Yes. But at the end of the day, a man is a man. He's not treating you special because you're special. He's treating you special because he can get something out of you. And then as soon as he can no longer get what he wants, or whenever he does something that you don't like and you respond to it, you're then going to see the side that all of the previous women have seen that you have not seen yet. Duh.
Okay. Then you're mad. Now all of a sudden Melanie right and you want to apologize. I don't want that damn apology. You keep that. Keep
Okay.
that. The karma is my apology because I already know he was gonna do it. Like I already knew he was gonna do it till he did it to me.
And it didn't even take that long.
Another thing, I don't like how people always say, you know, Mel stayed with a cheater. Like when we first came into the episode, she said she had just found out about it, you know, a few months, I guess, prior. And she was, you know, on his behind about it. Like she was trying to get them to work on it. And he wasn't really showing that effort. Then she got pregnant. So, I mean, like if you're trying to work on your marriage and then you get pregnant, would you not just try to stay for that moment, at least until you've done, you know, having a baby, so you have that support? Like, it's that people act like that's so hard to understand why she stayed while she was pregnant. She left.
They were still having sex. They was having sex the whole time. That's why they were pregnant at the same time so often, because he was having sex with the both of them at the same time.
Martell, I feel like Martell is to blame for a lot of the stuff, but everybody likes to make Melanie the scapegoat because she'll just sit right there and she'll be like, okay, you know, just pile on me. Okay, Tisha, you right. Okay. Like she'll just okay it, where Martell, he's going to give you a back and forth and you ain't going to be able to get, you know, your word across because he's going to start yelling and, you know, you're wrong and let me tell your dirt so you'll just shut up. But Mel, she's just like, okay, well, you know, I'm about to leave and then y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me. Put whatever narrative you want. I really just wish she'd just go ahead and shut it all down. Like, Tisha, save that crap. And say that for your mama. Your mama destroying your marriage, not me. That's the real part.
That's what I keep saying. Like, girl, your mama been putting your business on Front Street since you brought her on this show. And you still sitting up there talking about this girl trying to destroy my marriage. Mel broke that shit down perfectly at the beginning of the episode of what her issue is with Tisha.
Exactly. I don't think it's something that couldn't have been solved, but the way Tisha been letting her mama interfere with it, like, I know she wanted to say, oh, well, Tisha tells me not to say these things, but my mom she's very, like, vocal, too. Like, you know, I'm the youngest of my family, so she'll go to war for me, and I literally have to tell her, no, this is something for me. You handle your own things. I'm going to handle, you raised me to be able to handle my own conflict, so this
you
is
have
what
to put
I'm
up your boundaries. Yes.
I set my boundaries, and eventually it came to that point where I don't have to set them anymore. They're there. They're in place. I don't have to tell my mom, oh, this is my business, stay out of it. She already knows that. Tisha, you don't have that firm standing with your mom. You don't even have that firm standing with your husband. Like, I wonder how her relationship is with her kids, like what type of mom she is, because she doesn't seem to have any firm standing, like, in her words, you know, like, she can't
Which
really stand
means
on
those
that.
kids are going to walk all over her, and they're not going to have a lot of discipline.
And then with a dad like Marcel, of course, they'll probably be able to get away with anything. I mean, he don't know what his kid's allergic to. That's enough problem within itself. Forget what Melanie saying, what your mama's saying. Your husband barely knows about your kids.
And that was, I think, a lot of us, you know, our opinion of, she really, like, they hold on to the idea that the reason why we view them negatively is because the show is editing them bad and because we're believing what people are saying. And it's like, no, everybody is literally responding to what we have seen of y'all. When we first saw y'all and he couldn't be left alone with the kids because he didn't know the little boy was allergic to peanut butter. And, you know, you not being able to do anything. Mel was trying to help her be independent, was trying to help her get work and find a way to, like, create more of a balance in their lives. And she went around talking shit about Mel for it. So ultimately, I just kind of feel like with Tisha, it was like, girl, you were jealous of her and she was trying to help you get this thing. And because you're scared to actually have that thing, you rejected it and then try to flip it on her. I feel like we've seen women do shit like that so many times, where another woman will try to have their back, but because they're too scared and they want to lean on the husband, even though the husband is doing them wrong, they'll throw the woman under the bus so that they can preserve the image of the man, and it's almost like, girl, I know I'm weak right now, but I got to do what I got to do. And because you were here at some point, you should understand. Like, that's kind of how it comes off.
But it shouldn't even be to that point too, Mel, because like she's about to go through the same thing that Mel doing. I can see it already. She's going through the same thing that Mel just went through.
Oh yeah.
So Mel is somebody you should be wanting to have a friendship with, so you can have somebody to rely on, because she already knows that pain.
But see,
you seem like one of the people who hide your pain, so you're gonna need somebody to help you.
But see, you have to be, and this is why, you got to give people credit when they are like this and stop always seeing it as opportunistic. When you know that a person can be of a real value to you, you treat them accordingly. Meaning, I'm not going to shit on somebody, laugh at their pain, talk bad about them behind their back, when I know if I need something, and I will need something, that person can be that for me. So I should make sure that I care about that relationship. I think that with Destiny and with Tisha, both of them saw Mel as a resource, but also felt that they could shit on her and she would still be that resource. And I think they feel that way because the men are allowed to shit on the women and the women still provide in some way. So I think everybody's working from this very male identified place, that Mel was supposed to still be giving of herself in some capacity, no matter how they made selfish decisions that may have hurt her in the process of their friendships. Because at the end of the day, Tisha did do something mean to Mel first, and we don't know exactly what happened with Destiny. I see people say that Mel did Destiny bad. I really wish that they could explain to me what she did that was so bad, because to me, withdrawing from a person is not I'm not gonna look at that as like some real fucked up thing. We can have a conversation about why, but we're grown and people are married with jobs, careers, and kids. And you think I'm expecting my close friends to always be at my beck and call? Like, that's unrealistic.
It's very unrealistic. That's why I was confused in the first place on why she had an issue with Melody. Like, Melody has 4 kids. She has businesses. She just went through a divorce. Like, she's trying to rebrand herself. Do you really think she has time to sit on the phone and just kick with you, like chit chat or gossip, whatever you wanted to do? Like, if I can send you a text, that's me being in communication. That's me still trying to be a friend to you.
I'm not a phone person either. So if I'm kicking it on the phone with you, I fuck with you. Like, I communicate for a living. So when I'm chilling, I don't like to talk all the time. Like, as much as I'll get talkative with my girls and shit, I don't always like to be in that space. And sometimes people will be like, well, what's wrong with you? Because I'm quiet. And it's like, well, because vocally I'm fucking tired. So I need for people to be able to communicate the way I communicate, like through text, or let's just go kick it and have drinks or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to always look how you need it to look, because I'm not always in a space to give that. But if I'm giving anything, you should recognize that you matter to me, because I have other shit that I could be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel like that because I'm that's exactly why I'm the same way as Mel. I have times where I just text my friends. Sometimes we'll be on the phone for hours. Sometimes we won't even be on the phone for weeks at a time. We have things to do. We have business. Like, we got life. You know what I mean? We get caught up in things and, we get in our feelings and we just want to stick to ourselves sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. Why does she have to be a bad person because she says, I don't want to be bothered with y'all right now? I have those moments all the time. Honestly.
Me too. Like, and I give people the space too for that. Like, me and my best friend, like, I feel like we actually make an effort to make sure we're like, okay, it's been like maybe a few days, let me call and check in. And right now it's just like a time frame where we're like that. But there have been times in the past where we might go a whole like 3-4 weeks and we ain't even talk to each other. And and that doesn't really happen like that because I go get my lashes by her. So it's easy for me to have to do something because I'm gonna see her bi-weekly. But we still have to like call and make the effort to go out and do things together to keep our friendship, where we want it to be. So at the end of the day, it's like any other relationship where sometimes you need to back away, and sometimes it requires more care. And if you're friends, you're not really holding each other to this unrealistic standard. I feel like
Yeah, that's
for
real
grown
friends though.
people,
That's real friends, not the television friends, because
yes,
they have different standards of what a friend should be. Real friends, you can do things like that because it's not gonna. Oh well, I feel like we're not cool no more because I haven't talked to you in a week, girl. Like I've been busy. What you mean? Like I get offended when somebody says something like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you." Like, okay, I've been busy with life. What are you talking about?
right.
Do you not have anything going on with your life? Why you so busy? Worried about what I got to do and I'm not responding? Like,
Right. I totally get it. But thank you so much, Lulu. I appreciate you for coming on. It has been a
thank you,
pleasure.
Bonnie. Have a great day.
You too. Oh my God. I love you guys. It's so fun. Okay, y'all. Real quick before I go, last few comments in the chat. Melody has 4 kids. She employs her mom and other businesses. She has to be on her business grind right now. Hotel has not even worked. That is funny. Lene says Melody was being nice, nasty. So this is the thing about that. I absolutely believe she was being nice, nasty. In a lot of ways, but I also feel like she's very like honest with people, like who she's close with. So I feel like if I'm being nice, nasty with you, we're clear. Like, come on, we're clear. But I'm gonna keep it cute and cordial with you. Nice, nasty is not always a bad thing to me. And I think people, like, when they know that women are like that bothers them. But honestly, I don't care, because that doesn't bother me. Like, I can be nice, nasty sometimes because I'm not going to act out of character for you. But if I have something I want to say, then I'm going to say it. And if you're bothered by that, then that's on you. I guess you should learn how to deal, huh? Like, usually nice, nasty is the way that classy women handle confrontation. Like, what am I supposed to do instead? If I'm not nice, nastying, what is my alternative? Like, to just be straight up aggressive, or to just say what it is? Like, I choose the way I handle confrontation. If I want a nice, nasty something, that's okay. I don't think that's a bad thing all the time, because I don't think it always requires that y'all want to happen. Like, sometimes it is simply a raise of an eyebrow, and to me, nice, nasty a lot of times is a Claire Huxtable read. Like, and sometimes I'll call you a bitch and tell you to kiss my ass. And I think that Mel told Tisha, bitch, I wasn't talking to you, kiss my ass this episode. So there was no nice in any of that. People need empathy and emotional intelligence. Absolutely, they do. But it's pouring out here, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get off. 3 hours. But I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I need to watch Commit or Quit with Judge Lynn Toller. So I'm probably going to come to y'all tomorrow on Monday with Marriage Boot Camp and Commit or Quit. And, I'll see about Real Housewives and shit, because it's like, what, Real Housewives and Love Match? Girl, we'll see, because it's Sunday. So, no. And we were supposed to go swimming, but girl, this rain is telling us that me and Larry about to be in the house drunk. So I don't even know if I'm about to work out. I might work out tomorrow. Yeah, like I did last time. It's a whole highlight reel of the workouts for the past 4 days. I can't stand her. I'll do it tomorrow. But anyway, I love you guys so much. You'll see me either way. You will see me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Y'all gonna see me. The only days y'all may not see me is a Good Friday or Saturday, depending on what's going on in the streets. But y'all gonna see me. All right. Oh, look, hold up. Before I go, Rashida Lieber said nice, nasty equals passive aggressive. Not all the time. Not all the time. I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. Let me give you an example before I go. So nice, nasty can definitely be like, oh my God, I still don't like her. But hi, girl. Oh, that's cute. That is so cute. It's not. That's nice, nasty. So I'm saying something, but I'm actually in contradictory, but you kind of know. You know what I'm saying? Passive aggressive can more so be along the lines of, I'm going to, like, let me see, what's a good example of passive aggressive? Maurice is passive aggressive, right? So Mel didn't do anything to me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a part of the clique. So I'm telling everybody that she's the problem. I'm not going to actually go up to her and say I have an issue with her, because I don't. So I'm being passive. I am being aggressive, because eventually I am I am trying to have an effect on the outcome. I'm having an effect on the outcome. So I'm aggressive. But I'm passive because I'm having other people do it for me. Okay, so I think those things are not always mutually exclusive. And I think that you can be nice, nasty, and be very direct. And I think that there are times when Mel is being nice, nasty, but also being very direct. Well, you know, you can have a problem, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm so upset you feel that way. Well, have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Nice, nasty, but direct. You see what I'm saying? Passive aggressive, on the other hand, is, you know, Maurice. We see how annoying that can be. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of break that down a little bit. But, you know, because they propelled me. But I'm leaving because it's pouring. So I'm going to go. Love you guys. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Bye.